Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. The weekend before the North American Regional Finals. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday, or maybe the beginning of Sunday for some of you guys who are in the future time zone. So today we got a bunch of tournaments actually happening. In professional TFT specifically, there are 4 tournaments going on. Brazil's having their regional finals. Like literally day 3 of their finals is going on right now. And then there's LATAM having their playoffs. SEA is having their Road to SEA finals, which actually ended a few hours ago. Hence what we're going to watch today, because I think SEA, out of all these regions that we mentioned, are the strongest. The final one is OCE. I think OCE is having their LCQ, their last chance qualifier. So a lot of tournaments are going on, but we're going to watch SEA because I think they're the strongest. And also the region that I think we know some of the least about because they haven't really had their own, like Vietnam, for example, haven't had their own region to qualify for quite some time in TFT. It's still fairly new, like the first, like they're like in their second year actually. So we're gonna watch SCA, and then we'll probably go into NA regionals and stuff like that. Let me tilt my camera a little down. Like I'm looking a little small. Hi, Frodan. Hit Masters on my first set thanks to watching you and other streamers. Congratulations. Congratulations. What up, Pitsy? There's still in-houses going on. You guys can watch like a re-replay, for example, but we're going to go ahead and watch this SCA tournament to get started. So go ahead and full screen this. So SCA, as you can see, some pretty notable names that you might recognize. Steppy from Singapore, Jose Paulo from Philippines. This is not title, this is subtitle. Different person. And so it's like Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Philippines, Singapore, Macau. A lot of regions kind of mashed into one. Jazz Latte is competing in it. A-Ray, Chaos. Bebe, TTV, Bebe 1112. Man, the sequel to Bebe 872. That's right. You know what? Maybe I should put that in my title, featuring TTV Bebe. All right. So that's what we got coming up. Let's go ahead and get started into game number 1 in just a sec here.
14.3的一个版本哦。对于天气来说，有
turn
没
down
有
the
什么是觉
volume
得特别值得要注意一下的？
just a touch.
还有一个小乐球是14.3B，
对，没错。
对，但是他把最强势的例如
I feel like these regions are gonna take over the scene of TFT eventually. They like their player base is huge. They're deeply passionate about it. You see how much work they're putting in. I think it's not. I don't think it's that unpopular of a take to assume that they're going to eventually take over the scene.
也会有就是一定的
Is YBY in this? YBY is in Vietnam, and Vietnam has their own separate region within SEA. Do you want to see how kind of
对对，而且有些阵其
do you want to see you want to see how kind of fucked it is?
第一名有加成的话，那
I'll just go ahead and say it.
就变成玩不能直接的阵。
Take a look at this. Take a look at this.
太吃亏，太吃亏。
对，所以我自己也觉得
Road to the SEA finals.
就是我们刚才提到，比如说像
Road to SEA finals. Top 8 qualify for SEA regional finals. I'll go ahead and zoom in here. Top 8 from this tournament qualified to SEA regionals.
没错没错。
Vietnam's qualifier. The top 18 qualify for SEA regionals. That's right. Vietnam gets 10 more seeds than all of SEA. SEA as a whole get 8 seeds, and Vietnam gets 18 seeds.
其实西
Woo!
方马下呢，我
Oh man, that is
赛局蛮有趣的是。
that is crazy, right? Vietnam, that's how big Vietnam's player base is relative to the rest of SEA.
AD Freeze
It might not be a fair thing in terms of like
达到1折啊，他们的战绩
feeling like you get equal representation, or equal chances, but Vietnam's player base is that big.
对，能刚就刚，能 AD
Ruin from my boy Chaos. This is his Vegas pick. Chaos is a fantastic player. Him and Jose Paulo have been 2 players who've been begging for SEA to have their own region for a long time. They couldn't qualify for multiple years.
就考验选手是不是就
Also, try not to drop any spoilers because this did finish just hours ago, so some people might be hyped, but try not to drop too much spoilers. Nah, it's all good, swipers. I mean, 16 players that make it through, right? So Fu Time, Foeman, Bebe. It's gonna be funny, man. What if this guy just becomes Bebe but wins tournaments? Alright, let's go ahead and jump into it. Wow, 45 minutes before the first game. So much talking.
为什么我应该蛮懂这个感觉的。对，就是明明就5个人在绿牌，为什么我滴不到？对，为什么5个人的绿牌啊都没有我的呢？哎呦，第一把如果喜欢新钢之声朋友们多才多艺。
All right, actually, let me open up my text files real quick.
3、5色的维尔哥其实在多才多艺蛮厉害。
All right, this is round 6. Multi-talented.
但是最后呢，毕竟少数服从多数啊。这边我们第一场的场地呢，多才多艺要来喽。
多才多艺，2费赌阵有些就会比较被限制，例如赌卡特，这就比较不适合。那像赌巴德就很适合。所以就要看选手对于这些有哪些阵容适合的主秀适合这个2个。
Okay, I have it right there in the top right.
适合的话就看他们理解。
Well, actually, I'm covering up one of the players. Let me fix that real quick.
费卡的话，例如
I adjusted these graphics before I actually saw the resolution. Here doesn't need to be that big. And augers. All right. Okay, so it's gonna be multi-talented. Multi-talented, really good for reroll, and they know reroll is good. Heartsteel, Cassante start things off. Heartsteel is also good if you can get that going as well. So pretty straightforward, standard stuff. Let's see if SEA has even more tech about reroll, because they're usually ones that are playing reroll before a lot of other regions. For example, they were playing Seraphine way before North America and EU were doing. And it was probably the region that got to it the last. They were like playing things like reroll comps way slower because they were too busy obsessing over Heartsteel. Heartsteel this, Heartsteel that. Twin Terror, Caretaker's favorite big games. I mean, Twin Terror is probably what they're going to go into Executioners. Although I think Twin Terror, because of the nerf, it's a little bit sad, but I think... Oh, we took Blinged out. Never mind. Hello. Sure. Coffee and egg bites. My god, I didn't even ask for it. Thank you, Taylor. W wife. Can I get a W wife in chat? Oh. She gave me... she's coming to give me a hug. Yeah. And he loves 80 flex. I know, right? You know, on Twitter, the guy that casts SEA, his name is Clement. You might see some of his guides on twitter.com or x.com. Both work. People say it's not Twitter, it's X. I'm like, all right. And then people are like, no one calls it X, bro. It's Twitter. I'm like, all right. He was posting earlier today that he thinks that diversity is fake in this meta because it's like a lot of the 2 cost plays around Superfan as the core with KDA. And I thought that's an interesting take. Interesting because I'm not entirely sure I 100% agree with it, but I understand where he's coming from. He thinks that it's the same thing that Rain was talking about. It feels like the core is too strong and you plug and play different carries, but I still think that does count as diversity to a certain degree, even though they're sharing a lot of the same base traits. But I understand where he's coming from. I think people want to feel like there's different units that you can play besides the Superfan stuff, but the Superfan enabling a lot of other comps and carries is actually it's not too far different from 4 cost. A lot of 4 costs play like packages back when we played like Janna, Orianna, and Yumi in set 6, or Heimer, Ivern, and Volibear in set 5. But there were multiple 4 costs that were viable, and I think people relatively enjoyed that. Now that we have like the 1s and 2 and 3 cost version of that, I think people are kind of up in arms about it. Feels a little strange to me. Unless people don't like that version either, but because some people are like, well, the Janna Oriana Yumi comp was also like really oppressive, like the core was too oppressive and then enabled a bunch of stuff. But like at the same time, it creates a lot more flexibility. You know, kind of some trade-offs here or there. Okay, we got Katarina. Katarina's a good choice for multi-talented because you get country and crowd diver, so you get to have a lot stronger of a mid game, I think. Oh, it's Bebe. Bebe 1112. How's Taylor doing with the baby stuff? She's losing mobility a little bit, but overall, she's doing great, I think. We had a little bit of a scare last week. We had to go to the hospital, but it turns out that it was nothing serious. It was just like, it was good that we went in, but nothing serious. Just need to rest a little bit more is probably the most important thing for Taylor. I think it is adversity, because at the end of the day, when you really want to cap out a board, you gotta remove the super fans. Yeah. I think so too. I think so. Brian, what's the difference between competitive and a ranked playstyle? Oh, let me walk through these augments. We got patient study, blinged out, long distance pals, keepers, caretakers, war. What doesn't kill you? Interesting. A lot of people don't really want to play what doesn't kill you unless it's like specifically into a strong win out reroll comp. So maybe like a Riven. Wawa actually comes by your chat sometimes. The difference between ranked and competitive playstyle. Competitive is often higher tempo and punishes mistakes a lot more. And also, you have to adjust what you're trying to do based on your placement in the tournament. Sometimes you have to play riskier in competitive because you're behind in points, and the only way you can advance is if you like get like top 2 finishes, you know? Like you need to average a 2.0 to advance. Or if you're in a tournament setting, you can play for 6 because you recognize that on ranked, you're trying to optimize LP by playing to top 4 all the time. But in tournament, if all you need to do is advance and there's nothing more than just playing for points, you can play a comp. You can play like Disco, for example, and play for a 5th or a 6th. And that's like a completely viable strategy. So there's like a couple of different approaches that separate competitive from ranked. Also, the other thing about ranked in general is that not everyone in ranked is always trying their absolute hardest, because some people are trying out new ideas, new things. Some people are like having fun, right? They might be like on a call with somebody, or maybe they went out and partied and then came back at night and they're queuing up. Like not everyone is like trying their absolute hardest. But in tournament, everyone is, and you feel the difference when you have 8 people who are trying very hard. The lobbies seem much more difficult. You don't get free wins. You streak a lot less often. People are willing to take things off carousel to grief you.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
That kind of stuff. Lex, thank you for tier 1. So there's a lot of difference between competitive and ranked, in my opinion. Okay, BT, Deathblade. BT probably is the most flexible AD item to slam right now. I think even a little bit more. Well, I guess Hand of Justice is also, and then like maybe some anti-heal options. But like in terms of sword-based items, I think BT is more flexible. I mean, some people slam IE as a thing, but like BT is really good early, and you can also still play any line for the most part. You can play reroll, you can play 4 costs. Not every reroll, for example, wants Infinity Edge, but you can always put BT, and it's also like pretty decent on a frontliner unit as well. I really like Bloodthirster at the moment. Thank you, Lex. Appreciate it, man. I don't know, Hodge is also really good too. But yesterday we were watching some China VODs, and Huanmei doesn't slam Hodge, which is really interesting. Maybe because CN has a different approach to the meta. I'd rather not slam Hodge unless I have the augment, because it gives components that have better uses. I don't know, Hodge is pretty good. Setsuko likes Hodge a lot. He likes Hodge, but Setsuko's mainly playing like a lot of AD flex. A little bit of difference though, because Setsuko likes to play a ton of Heartsteel. This Jazz Latte Emily Wang's coach.
去转刚其实是蛮吃亏的一件事情，因为你把你的连胜转成连败，这就看哪题怎么抉择了。
好，10KDA，还有2大人物，多才多艺的凯撒。
I just finished a custom in-house lobby, and the last 4 people played 9 true damage, 9 true damage, 10 penta, 10 KD. It was, I mean, was it a wandering trainer lobby? That sounds insane.
才要启动去找3大主秀，所以这里算是不错，可以再把连胜保住。
Shojin Morello holding Heartsteel on the bench. Interesting that he has Heartsteel on the bench. He's not playing it. He's holding 10 gold on the bench. 4, 7, 9, 10, 16, 18 gold on the bench. 18 gold on the bench.
是金色的，
还是金色的
金色的
Big grab bag. Wow. Hold on a second. What were those other options? Oh, balanced budget and healing orbs.
其实可能会选一些战力类的好一点。
Unfortunately, healing orbs doesn't feel like it's good enough right now compared to the other healing. It's like the weakest healing augment.
金直接重铸了，
没错。
It's fine for like certain champions that are really dependent on healing.
再来这边的话，
Melee carries mainly.
他目前他是拿守望相助的吗？我他的真不被挡住了。如果拿守望相助的话，有可能是拿电刀。
Does anyone have a theory on why I is a plus delta to healing? No, I think the prevailing theory is that there's a bugged interaction. The second theory is that
可能也可以请天
Caitlyn
在这个版本，这个逆命
Caitlyn doesn't like want that because there's a lot of people that play like emblems on her.
你想玩，你可能就往吃
I don't know.
哦，
因为迪斯可在
Because like Rain Potion was like if you filter out true damage and punk or something like that, it gets way better. I don't know.
加强后又小。
My theory is that it might be bugged on it.
但是呢，
But the stats on it are very interesting.
它其实是有一直加强的。迪斯可的上限在于你有2星西格斯的时候，逆命强不强不重要的。
没错。
Man, Kaisa's so good. Morello Shojin. This is like set 6 Kaisa. Morello Shojin. Now you just need a GA,
这里
Guardian Angel,
是打赢的话
or Edge of Night.
略胜没有
Man, actually, was it GA back in set 6 or was it Edge of Night? I don't even remember. When did Edge of Night come? I think Edge of Night was set 8 or set 7.
2-5杀跟2超。
When did they change GA?
你滑过
I forgot.
给我一个冲撞呢？
刚可惜，如果可能是
This guy's a duplicator.
飞的话，应该是有机会能赢的。
Yeah, Shojin, Morello, Archangels or something like that. Socialite Kaisa. Oh my god.
断的好像是要
他现
买
在觉得这是纳尔
That was so crazy because Kaisa 1 would be able to hyper carry.
骗局，
卖掉，不争气。
真的是不争气哦。
哦，那这个蓝金人，他选了一个金人，那这个金人就有
Why are VODs for subs only? Because I post all the VODs for free anyways on YouTube. And
就是在进的时候
it just it's one of the perks that I wanted to give my
真的
subs.
不行，可能给个结。
Also because it stops certain people from taking content. So what ended up happening, not this doesn't happen very often, but sometimes people would take my VOD content and upload it to their clips and highlight channels before I could do something like that. And so if you want my VODs, you can go check youtube.com/Frodan. But I'm not trying to like gate my VODs or anything. I'm not hiding anything. But you'll find that it's also organized and it also preserves it too.
你要2只，而且有一只死了，
So
那个远近的效果就不见了。
这本来是 S9，
it's actually like something that people don't talk about very much, but there's a little bit of TFT YouTube drama behind the scenes of people like taking content and stuff like that. Not that much drama, but it's like
狗头吸对方的
it's not because it's not that big of a deal.
攻击，然后给后排。好，哦，这边7等
Thank you for following it. Thank you for subbing to it. Okay, we got Riven.
然后铲子了，那不是68B 来了。
但是他的装备是蓝 B 金人，
And we always upload VODs like the very next morning anyways. Slash like hours after the stream ends.
潘多拉
I have an editing team that works like I have an editing team that has combined hours around the clock. So 'cause I have some people that work with me from like the Middle East and Asia.
这好痛苦啊！
So they're on different time zones. So like when I end my stream at night, it's like afternoon for them. So like they can work on it.
可以，因为
And then I also have some people in NA. So it's like
但
so we have teams that upload it.
伤害不够，但是好可以庆幸的是，他有68 bit 的话，可以弥
没错
补那个。
Do you have any advice to get used to reroll tempo?
是
Just watch some people who play reroll comps. I mean, just watch some people who are like known to reroll and pick up on timings on when they're trying to go for it and try to understand why. Each reroll comp has its own nuance. Like, so for example, Chaos is playing reroll Riven, and he rolled at level 3-5 at level 7, but that's not always the case for every 3-cost reroll. Like, if you want to play Country, for example, you want to roll at 4-1 usually, and you want to play from ahead, like 70 HP. But if you're playing Riven, you play from behind at 3-5 because you kind of need specific items for Riven, and you're trying to play like more of a win out style. Country is more of a tempo into like strong stage 2, 3, 4, and then start to like and then there's this period of time before you hit like all the 3 stars and you start falling off. So you have to kind of identify what the win condition is and the playstyle of each reroll comp, and it's hard to just say like always do this, always do that, because each reroll comp requires different things. Is this a SCA tournament with Bebe? It's a different Bebe. It's a different Bebe, but he did. This guy's name is TTV Bebe 1112. He's rebranded. He's rebranded. No, it's a different Bebe. It's a different Bebe. It's funny because like you're not the first person to ask that, and I think you're gonna be one of like dozens of people today be like, wait, Bebe is competing in SCA now. Okay, Shojin, Gage, and Hodge. One of them is a super fan item, so it's Gage. So Hodge, Shojin, Last Whisper. Oh, really interesting. He also is on a 2-inch. Okay. This looks like to me like it's pentakill, but I don't know because you have when you play like half AD, half AP. Oh, he hit a Yorick on 7. Okay. Wait, I kind of want to go back to Marvel Wizard KH because I want to see like how he's playing the Last Whisper Shojin Hodge. I guess he could go like Shojin Last Whisper Ezreal or Caitlyn, but I feel like that's weaker, especially from the Superfan setup. Superfan like lends itself well to pentakill because you have Nars, the linking unit. How about Seraphine reroll? Seraphine, you have to have one really good items for Seraphine, specifically like you're often looking for like a Morello plus like a specific like another mana item for her, kind of like Nashor's Shojin or something like that. Nashor's Shojin Morello. And then you want to have just a lot of copies of Seraphine, and you really want to make sure that you're playing around the strong Superfan core. Seraphine is actually not really as conditional. You just have to make sure that you have the right items and the right... Oh, sorry, the right items and the right units. It's a little bit more open-ended. Because the thing about Seraphine is that you can just play as a standard level 6 reroll, but you can also play at 7. But then you have the flexibility of going to Lulu, and then you have the flexibility of ditching it and just going for Ahri. And just playing like Ahri, KDA Ahri at 8. Seraphine's a little bit of an exception because she basically is just a tempo-oriented reroll comp, or you like lose streak early into her and then roll pretty considerably on 6 to stabilize, and then try to hit 3-star at stage 4. I think people are like, "Oh, you lose streak into Seraphine." I'm like, I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think lose streak Seraphine is how you bot forward with her really often. Also, I think Seraphine is getting worse the more people catch on to the fact that Ahri is good, because you start to hit a lot. You hit less often because people are holding Seraphines into Ahri and things like that. And then also, depending on how people are positioning, Seraphine can struggle a little bit. I think people are getting better at playing against Seraphine too and unclumping. I think that... Oh, wow. He gets blue buff on this cash out. Wow. Jazz Latte did go Ezreal. He went Shojin, Morello, Ezreal. Wow. So I was saying, like, he had Shojin Morello and he could have played AP, but he chose to go into AD anyways. Shojin Morello, IE Ezreal. A lot of people hate Shojin.
6、8 bit 来了，而且有威尔哥。
You can contest the superfans. Yeah, exactly. The more people are playing superfans, the more people are playing KDA, RE, and stuff like that. You're just like, you just get fewer and fewer chances of hitting your units. And also, I think the people are getting better at playing against Seraphine and Senna in the patch. People are just unclumping more and baiting more often. Late game, I don't think people should really get out. If you're, unless you're playing KDA, and even then you give up some value. But like a lot of people are mispositioning against Senna late game. Like Senna late game, you want to put like the tentacles and stuff in the front, so she like wastes it, and then you spread out your front line. But like late game, people are still just like tentacle 1, 2, 3, 4 tentacle, and then they position Senna in the center, and then they lose their front line. They're like, wow, Senna's so good. It's like just don't do that. Don't do that. Like don't put everything in a little ball of a clump so that Senna just wrecks you or Seraphine just wrecks you. I mean, it's easier said than done. Sometimes it feels like you have to, especially if you're playing things like Cement to the Pits or Disco. Like, easier said than done. Yeah. I'm from Singapore, and I want to say Steppy's probably our best server. I mean, I shouted out Steppy at the very beginning. I said Steppy's one of the players to pay attention to. It's cool to see that that Singapore also feels that way too. Okay. Oh wait, actually, never mind. This is a TF board. I mean, okay, yes, you're playing TF, but don't you actually buy the Zed there? I actually think you buy the Zed. Isn't Zed so good that you would just rather just put like Z2 and then you play like Lux and you have like EDM Zed? You can even tech in a Zac as well. You have no answer for Zed? I see 2 Shojins. I know he has no items for Zed, but I feel like one, we struggle without damage because we also hit an Alawi and we have no damage at this point. Like you can even just play it for 2 rounds. I would just put Morello on the Twisted Fates so he casts 1 time and just let Zed do the work. You can't seriously tell me that Zed isn't like better than like this Taric 1. Even just no items Z2 is better than this Taric 1. Like I know we're playing Guardians on this guy, but like come on now. I would definitely take that for sure. In Disco, you're trying to play a high tempo situation, right? Like a high tempo stage 4. I don't know, maybe I love Zed too much. Maybe I think Zed is too OP, and that's my blind sight. I have Zed goggles. You know what? I take it. I stand by what I said. That was a Z2. That was a Z2. Is Zhonya's really good on Ribbon? Oh, wait. Someone said that Chaos had. Okay, Chaos is going 8th. That's not looking too good for.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
For one of SC8's goats. Navi, thank for the 3. Zed Glazer. I mean, I would glaze Zed forever if he just shows up in my shop more often. I'm down to buy Z2 whenever I can hit Z2. Is that a different Bebe? I'm just gonna let you find out. Blue buff, death cap, adapted. This is Bis Bard, as far as we know. Spread out items for Cyber Bulk. Picked up Rod, I think, from Morello. Yikes! How good is Zhonya's on Riven? Let me actually look. Zhonya's Hourglass on Riven. Riven 3. Glass 3 Pentakill. Zhonya's. Wow, Zhonya's is not good. Okay, what about last patch? Okay, Zhonya's in general is not very good on Riven. It's positive delta. by 2 to 3 tenths. Not good. Compared to Death Defiance, for example, Death Defiance is wow, it's a half placement swing. It's up. It's minus negative 3 tenths. Got 3. Okay. Okay, baby. Oh, never mind. Baby looks different. That's it, he went to business school. He got a haircut, went to business school, and moved to Thailand.
之前版本就是可能比如说压缩啊，或者是雷文很强势的时候，但因为他战士丹顶，如果
The glow up is insane.
对哦，那纳米那个水球丢的好。
I wonder if he is in on the memes or he's clueless about it.
哇，结果已经有一位先出局了。
I mean, he has to be in on it because even his username is the same. Hold on, does he have a Twitch channel? TTV Baby. Actually, no, I don't even put TV. Baby 1 1 1 2. Wait, it is. There's a Baby 1112. 6 followers. Streams Teamfight Tactics. Wait a second. This might be one of the greatest coincidences I've seen in a long time in TFT. There's an actual Baby. Wait, well, this guy's not memeing. This guy, that's his actual username. What the heck? He has 6 followers. You guys can be number 7. You can be number 7. You guys could follow and be follower number 7. This guy has more followers than Evil Genius's Valorant team. What are we doing today? We're doing we're doing SCA finals. Pentakill Akali. Oh, so he went Last Whisper into Pentakill and then wanted to play around Viego. We put the items onto Akali instead. Interesting. I mean, the Shojin Last Whisper slam. So the Shojin Last Whisper and then BT slam made me felt like it was Pentakill, but yeah. Interesting. What doesn't kill you? Whoa, he doesn't kill you. Jeweled Lotus and Lucky Gloves. That's a really good combo. Jazz Latte strong, but he just lost. Jazz Latte just lost. Also, please no spoilers. What up, Nathan? Okay, Wawa goes for Runins. No one's taking Sona with a blue buff. Bebe is. Bebe sees the lines. Okay, how funny would it be if this guy, Bebe, from Thailand, goes to Worlds, like he gets the SCA Regionals, he goes to Worlds, wins Worlds, and then we can finally say Bebe won Worlds. But it's not even like the right Bebe. So then inevitably, one day, I'm pretty sure Bebe is going to post about TFT again. The Baby that we know. How funny would that be, actually? And we can just be like, Baby 1112 clears you. It's too funny. These TFIMs are okay. I actually am I'm kind of a TF doubter at this point. No, you know what? I'm beyond a doubter. I'm a TF hater. I'm trying not to play Disco TF if my life depended on it. If there was a triple Test of Fate in my shop with a headliner Blitzcrank, maybe. But any other situation besides with like a Ziggs, then I'd probably consider it. The shop has to be TF, Ziggs, headliner, Blitzcrank. Then I'd probably consider it. Ooh, Jazz Latte has a souped up gin as well. Show gin. Frontline's pretty solid too. Oh, this is a Kali. Oh man, that Ezreal blinked. Wow, it's so close. I mean, Jazz Latte positioned pretty well into it. He put his carries in the back center, so that way he's away from Akali. Man. Wow, it's so close. Look at it. 3rd to 6th place. 8-7-7-5. Damn. Like Nasher, Shojin, Morello TF. I like Morello. And then not by TF. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. The more. Maybe I'm hating on TF because I don't understand it. I want Morello and TF, and I'd rather play for something else. I'd rather play for something else. Zed. Oh my! What? He had a duplicator. Wait a second. What was that? Okay. All right. He has a duplicator and just hit Z3 in like 3 rolls. That came out of nowhere. He just had a Z2 and all of a sudden just hits Z3 in like 2 rolls. Okay. Wow. Or should I say wah? Wawa 98. And he also hit Lucian too. So like, I mean, if no one wants to know how to beat center reroll, you play Zed reroll. Man. IE Lucian, I mean, it's still an AD item to put on Lucian. GS is way better, but I mean, you're not gonna not put IE on Zed, aren't you? Or on Lucian, aren't you? Jazz Latte, 7 HP, top 4 from here. This is a good top 4. I like his board. I like how he built his front line. Like he plays around Thresh and a Mumu. Like I think these kinds of front lines are underrated. People focus so much on the back line, but when you're playing Jhin, all you really care about is the front line. I like how he's doing it. He represents. Thank you, Jazz Latte. Well, what can I do against all this Senna and Seraphine stuff? He just like puts the tentacles in the front. Senna just wastes half her burst. Thank you, Jazz Latte. I was literally talking about this just like 10 minutes ago. Oh, he loses anyways? Oh. Okay, never mind. All right, well, at least he did the right thing. He did the right play, but he lost. It's okay. That's TFT. Hey, you know what? He got a 3rd. He got a 3rd because of that. He outplaced Bebe. But at least he did the right play. In TFT, you don't get always rewarded for the right play, but if you keep doing that, you might be able to squeeze placements, and you never know. Bebe top 4. And then the score sheet. Oh, I'm not gonna try to link because I don't want spoilers for it. But if anybody wants to drop it, Ari is on the Zed, but we have Edge of Night. I think if Zed didn't have this Edge of Night, there was a chance this true damage Ari could get through. Okay, probably not. He's just out healing all the. He's just straight up drain tanking. I bet he could solo frontline this Zed. Vampirism double BT. Wait, a true damage emblem. No, wait a second. 2 true damage emblems. Okay, does 9 true damage beat Z3? My instinct says no. He's missing Kiana. Okay, he missed. Selling Ari. No Kiana. Is he on 8? He is on 8. He has 3% odds. Okay, he wasn't likely to hit anyways. Okay, nice try, NT. Do you guys think 9 true damage? Like, let's say he kept his board. He drops Super Fan. And he plays 9 true damage. Do you think he actually wins this, wins against Z3? I don't know. I don't know. It's such a rare occurrence to see like a 9 true damage versus a 4-cost 3-star. And Zed has Edge of Night as well, so he can like he can drop the aggression. I can't tell. 7777. Well done. Well done. It's also Wawa's Taiwan, right? Or is he from Hong Kong? He's from TW, HK, and MC. This guy reminds me of somebody. Like, he reminds me of somebody in NA. I can't remember I can't put my finger on it though. Okay, this is what the results of the first lobby. So we had Wawa, A-Ray, Jazz Latte, Bebe, top 4. This is not Black Big Big. Mother Darling. Is that okay, you know what? I'm just gonna move past it. Psy, Foman, Steppy, Jose. Oh, nice. Jose Paulo, Reverie, Lan or Ian? I don't know. Lan. Rock Solid, Food Time, Ayaya, and K Bao Bao. Man, some of these usernames in SE are too funny, man. Mother Darling. He looks like Robin. You guys think like Robin? Oh, because of the hair. That guy looks way younger than Robin. He looks way younger than Robin. Nah, that's not Robin. Bebe is back. TTV Bebe 1112. No, it's actually a different Bebe. It's a different Bebe. We actually looked it up. There's a different streamer named Bebe 1112, and he plays TFT, but he has 6 followers. It's a very weird coincidence. But someone else also named themselves Bebe, and he's also a Twitch streamer. Well, not really. He has 6 followers, so you know what? I'm gonna turn on notifications. The next time Bebe 1112 is online, I will be there, no matter what. Mbappe. This guy does not look like Robin. No. Robin songs TFT. Really? Are you guys being a little racist right now? Come on, what is this? No way. I mean, okay, that's not a real picture of Robin. Let me see. Why is there a picture of Forsen? What? Isn't this Reckless? Oh, it's pictures like Rob. Pictures like that. I see. No. You guys, you guys see dyed blonde hair, and then you're like, it's Robin. No. It looks AI generated. I know. Dude, AI generation is gonna be so scary. Eventually, all the TFT streamers without cams can finally have like their proper AI VTuber generation. Like, because there's so many TFT streamers that stream without cam, they can just put a VTuber avatar. Robin is 50 years old. That guy's like 20. Robin's not 50, man. You know, Robin is 30, which is not even that old, if you really think about it. This is Tactician's Crown. Let me go ahead and update this. Tactician Crown. Let me score a little bit to the right. OCD. Have you seen Sora, the AI thing? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, wait. Do you know why he's not picking this up? This is actually kind of 5-head. Do you know why he's not picking up the orb? This is actually a really advanced thing. But if he has the opportunity, so he doesn't field more units than he has to, he has more bench options. Like so because if you pick this Tactician crown, you have to you can't hold things on the bench for the option of selling it. Oh, it's actually pretty smart. It's actually pretty smart. It's like something that like an iron player would do, and also a top challenger player. No one's picking it up. Wow. All right, is this like a noob test? A noob test? Anyone who picks it up is a noob. I actually do this. I always do this actually in Masters. Well, there you go. You do some things that some challenger players would do. Okay, well now it doesn't matter for him, I guess. But it's just good. It's just good. Slight min max to do. Who from the tournament do you know? I know a lot of these people. I know Chaos. This guy is a player who plays on NA. Oh, he's from Singapore. I thought Chaos was Philippines, but it might be Jose Paulo. I know Jazz Latte. He's like one of the biggest streamers from Taiwan. He's also Emily Wang's coach for 2 days per patch. The meme in Jazz Latte's chat is when there's a new patch, Jazz Latte is the best streamer in the world, and then 3 days after the patch, who is Jazz Latte? That's the meme in Emily/Jazz Latte's chat. The joke is that Emily only messages Jazz Latte when she needs help on the patch. Chaos to Singapore, cool. Okay, I have sometimes him and Jose mixed up into the location. I know A Ray as well, another streamer. Wawa competes in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, has done well. So I know a handful of these players. I've been watching SCA for most of the set because I think that they catch on to trends a little bit faster. Because I think SCA practices and observes China a lot more often, and so like they're kind of like one of our analogs to get some China tech. But because a lot of them can speak Chinese. Not everyone.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
A big portion of the region can speak Mandarin, so they can kind of understand and plug into the community. And then they can also speak English. Honestly, being from SEA is like actually optimal because SEA can speak Chinese. A lot of them can, and they can speak English. So like, isn't that just BIS? I know Mini. Thank you for the prime. So we have a lot of good players in SEA. They have bish traits. It's not even fair. My Chinese is not very good. I have also pretty good traits, but I'm a low cost unit. I'm like a tier 1, tier 2. Edge of Night Slam with Hodge. Really good 80 tempo right now. Hodge is really good with idealism in particular, but even without idealism, I think this is a good tempo slam. Who needs to watch China when you can watch Soju? Yeah. You know, in China, apparently yapping is not very people don't like the yapping. Because the yapping streamers are ones that aren't that popular. So if Soju was to stream in Chinese, he probably would not have many fans. People would probably not like him. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. If that's not true, feel free to correct me. But as far as I know, I think China thinks the yapping streamers are annoying. Because they are. Fair enough. But I mean, any streamer is annoying if you just generally don't like them. But I do think that's kind of funny because like the chill, reserved, respectful, polite ones are like, oh, they're so bedge. They're like too chill. They are annoying, LOL. Yeah, it's a complete inversion in culture. How many 5 costs can you hit and still hit the headliner? You can hold 3, I believe. And you can if you have like a Lucian 2, you can see a Lucian in headliner in your shop. Okay, 2 patient studies, Edge of Night, Magic Wand. Keep forgetting those. I think this is escort quest, but like it could be scapegoat. It could be scapegoat, but I think it's escort quest. And then idealism and keepers. Jazz is gonna play disco. Disco is not that bad, you guys. I just personally don't want to play disco. Disco is actually slightly underrated. Slightly underrated. Don't believe my lies. I have a specific like hate boner for disco. Disco is actually playable, but you just miss me with disco.
但上4倍你就觉得在这边帮他拿这个太早了。没错。哦，这边有进张巴德，但他已经合了均等法医了。所以这边赌巴德。
If I cast like you from YouTube or Twitch, do I get a? You mean you're gonna restream my stream? That's generally like considered like to do that without permission is generally considered. Poor form unless there's like unless there's like kind of a friendship or an understanding that we do that with each other. But if you're doing it in a different language or something like that, I think that's fine. If all you're gonna do is stream my stream to other people and that's it, I think it's like not. I mean, I guess it's like maybe acceptable if it's a different platform. Like if you stream it to like Facebook or something like that, I think that's fine. Blue buff, IE, Edge of Night. Okay, so it's gotta be. I think it's gotta be Zed Ezreal. You could go into Pentakill from here. Not really. You can go into Ari Zed. You can go Ari Zed. Like Ari Warriors. But it's not even really Ari Warrior because you don't want to put Edge of Night IE on like Poppy. You don't want to put like IE Edge of Night on a Kali. Unless it's True Diameter Kali. So it's really Ari Zed and Ari Viego. And I think Ari Warriors is also falling a little bit out of the meta, just a tiny bit. Or a better way to say it is I haven't seen it perform nearly as well as it did last patch. I think because in those kinds of situations, like the small nerf to Zed is like slightly noticeable. It's a little bit more impactful. Yeah, pull up. If you want to do it in a different language, I think that's totally fine.
Oh wait, what's Frodan doing?
Oh, Mort Dog, thank you for the raid. How was Grief Mort Saturdays or whatever it's called? We're watching the Road to SCA finals, the round of 32. Watching the 6 games. Getting some SCA tech. We got some disco players. We got a lot the meta. We're seeing a lot of the meta shape up. And SCA is usually a little bit ahead of the meta because SCA has the unique position of being able to usually speak and understand Chinese. A lot of them do, not all of them, but a lot of them speak Chinese, so they can connect to CN. They also speak English and understand it pretty well, so they can connect to other parts of the world. So SCA usually has a lot of tech. It's one of my favorite regions to watch this set in particular. Are there any good 3-cost reroll comps this patch? Haven't played since late December. Yes. The best is considered to be Riven and Lulu. Those are 2 really good 3-cost to reroll. People believe Executioners are playable if you have certain spots, maybe like Twin Terror. If you have a country emblem, you can go for a country. And you can also try to play things like Misfortune if you have That's Jazz Baby. And then there's also like different elements of comps that can be considered the reroll carry. Like Mordekaiser is often a 3-star that you're chasing when you're going for Kale. But sometimes you actually prioritize Mordekaiser as your headliner over a Kale as your headliner. And so if you do end up going for like Kale 3, but you hit Mordekaiser headliner and you just hit Mord 3, or you're in a position to go for more 3, like that's actually a really good setup, and you don't even need to go for Kale Headliner in that spot. So there's like different things like that. Oh, also Yone, but like problem with Yone right now as a carry is that a lot of Heartsteel players, and even like, you know, if you go against like a Riven player, they might take Yones, so it's kind of hard to hit. But if there's a lot of people who are rerolling like super fans in KDA, then Yone's free. Yone's still playable as well. The thing about the current meta is that almost everything is playable, but you have to kind of understand the conditions and the good setup. And so specializing in reroll is actually a lot harder this patch than it is in other reroll metas. I think Bryce, one of my the guy that usually is doing analysis with me on my streams, he usually hates reroll metas, and he thinks very highly of this reroll meta. Or rather, this is the highest he's thought of a reroll meta. He thinks that there's a lot of skill to be expressed, understanding the lines, their strengths and weaknesses, their conditions, understanding what portals favor certain ones, and the dynamics of it are like, it's like a strong reroll player will have a significant edge over a weak reroll player, because a lot of reroll players who aren't putting a lot of meaningful thought into the way they're approaching it will get punished, because this is a meta where you can get punished really heavily because the Heartsteel boards and everything like that, and the way you position all these different kinds of small things can give you a big edge. We'd be posting a YouTube VOD of the Soju. Yeah, it should actually be processing right now. I think a big reason why the YouTube VOD isn't up is because it takes a long time if we're not YouTube partner. Oh, it actually just posted. It just went live 32 minutes ago. The K3 Soju Invitational co-stream. And if you haven't already, sub to that channel, because we need to get to 1,000. Part of the reason why it takes so long is because we're not YouTube partner. Actually, let me go ahead and change the title of this. I think, give me a sec. K3 Soju $10,000 invitational coke stream. Boom. Didn't Bebe complain about the 4 cost meta? Isn't this patch great for him? Oh yeah, it would be. And look, Bebe's in the tournament. Not the same Bebe. It's not the same Bebe. It's a different Bebe. It's Bebe 1112. Sub to no, you sub to the the podcast channels to feed Yenwei. The Frodan VODs defeat my editors, my other editors. It's Ari Sentinels. Are there any Ari Sentinel stands here? Actually, we have a Spatula. Spatula is not particularly very good in Ari Sentinels. You can go for like a KDA emblem. Jayo. Jayo is like let's go in Chinese. You know, when everyone's like, let's go, or come on. When they're getting all hyped in English. Jayo is like the same thing in Chinese. Jayo quite literally translates to add gas. Ja means to add, and yo is like oil or gas. I don't know. It's just an idiom. It's an expression. Don't think too much into it, but that's what it means. Jayo. I will miss this set, but I'd always game competitive needs new updates and keep going. Yeah, I think set 10 is there's gonna be things about set 10 that people miss that they don't realize right now because they're thinking so much about what they don't like, which is pretty natural for a engaged TFT player. If you're still playing TFT and you're watching TFT even right now, you're considered an engaged player. A lot of my friends who play TFT as a casual player, they've already stopped playing and they're excited. They love TFT. They liked set 10, but they're doing other things now because set 10's been out for a while, and they're very excited for set 11. But they're not playing or watching or doing anything TFT related. Everything about TFT to them is positive. They're not playing the set because they have other things to do. So if you're still like engaged and playing TFT and whatever thing like that, like in some ways you can probably be casual about it, but you're considered a really engaged player. Set 10 is Garbo. I mean, I disagree, but not everyone has the same preferences. True damage is probably better than average on Tactician's Crown because you always get the bling bonus, or at least KDA Superfan could probably be good because you can always activate Kennen. Kennen, my king. You get the Tactician's Crown to activate the bling bonus. I love the set and I hate headliners. Yeah, I think a lot of people are in the same boat. You probably actually will find a lot of people that agree with you on that. Like, they like set 10 a lot, and then, like, headliners have played out its course. But I'll also say that there's a period of time at the very beginning when even the most hyper competitive players loved the headliners. They loved it. During PBE, some people are like, oh my god, pivoting and like big transitions, they're back. They're finally back. We finally can like sell our units and roll for a different board instead of actually playing just the same vertical, right? Because so many times, set 7, 8, and 9, it was like you buy a Demacia unit, you play Demacia. You buy Jade, you play Jade. You buy Shimmer Scale, you play Shimmer Scale. You buy Infiniteam, you buy Laser Core. You just buy the same type of units over and over and over. And the flexibility between the lines was not really there. And when headliners first came out at PBE, everyone was like, it's finally back. Flex, open, fluid, transitional TFT is back. And then 3 months later, like, I hate headliners. I really do. It's like it's the worst mechanic of all time. Like, it's just funny, man. It's just funny. Like, it's just, it's part of it just because everyone plays it too much. That's all. Oh. Cybernetic uplink insta-pick. Crowd diver. Okay, he's always rolling for cost. Zed. EDM Zed. Boom. Oh, his username is Boom Hey. I like that. Except he's got Ezreal. He's got items for Ezreal. He doesn't have items for Zed nearly as well. You don't really want to put IE on Zed either here. Wow. 0 item Zed. You know what? I think that in this situation, you put red buff IE on Zed and then you have an item remover. Because I want to have items on Zed versus not. You know what? I'm even down to put blue buff. IE, red buff, boo. All on Zed and then just remove it later. Okay, so he's actually... Okay, this is actually a halfway play because then he can go for a sword on Carousel. And then go Edge of Night, and then he can choose to remove later if he wants. I mean, Ezreal's a lot better with red. Basically, Ezreal's your anti-heal applier. To me, Flex just kind of makes me nervous. I like knowing my game plan and doing that. Is why Legends was so great. And I think that's where the difficulty is on Riot to try to make players like Lucario happy and players like, I don't know, the top average challenger streamer, you know? The top average challenger streamer thinks that's boring because the game... At that point, the game is not interesting to them because it's like, well, do I hit what I'm trying to commit to at 2-1 or not? Like, if I'm going for Bard on 2-1, I know I'm playing Bard. Oh, I guess I missed Bard. Okay, GG. And that's like, to them, even if it's not true, that to them, that's all there is to the game. And then there's a lot of other players who feel like, well, I don't want to be overwhelmed by, like, what ifs. And, you know, I'm not trying to play spreadsheet simulator of figuring out stats and optimization and everything like that, right? Like, there's a lot of people who say that, and so you have to kind of figure out a best way to have both worlds. I mean, the answer is they're both styles are viable, and I think that's kind of what this meta is. I think the strength about this meta is that every type of player has something that they can gravitate to, and they have multiple options, and they can succeed with it. I think high committal. Mr. Platano, thank you for 10 months. High committal, flowchart, structured, TFT, where like people like say at 2-1 they're gonna play this. I'm gonna go ribbon reroll. Okay, it's a Seraphine game. all right, I'm gonna go ahead and play and lean into any reroll. Like they have a strong strategy and they have multiple options and they can find a lot of success. And then there's people who be like, I just want to play Heartsteel AD Flex and play greedy. I'm fast 8 every game. I'm looking for 4 costs. They can find success if they're really good at it. And there's a bunch of people who can also in between those things, right? Like tempo-oriented players or people who are just stylistically flexible and open, like Dish Soap, can also find success. And I think that means that the meta is in a pretty good spot. So, you know, Mortdog made this post on Twitter, and it might sound like I'm straight up glazing Mortdog, but like and if that's not 100% wrong either. But he did make a Twitter post that I agreed like 75-80% of what he said. And the one thing that he did say is that this is as close to balance as it can be. And I thought that was a really interesting, bold statement. And I thought about it a lot. And I was like, well, it actually is kind of true in the macro sense. In the micro, it's like, you know, Olaf is too strong. There's certain like combinations that are too strong, right? Like Heartsteel still winning a lot of late games and all these different kinds of things. But like 8-bit emblem is too good. Like all these different things. There's micro balances that can be made, but there's the macro. It's like it's actually in a really good spot. And some people are gonna go as far as say like I hate this patch, and I'm just like, okay, well if you hate this patch, I think you're almost. I think if you say that you hate this patch and you're like willing to say like, you know, this is like one of the worst patches, whatever. You're almost like marking yourself as a person that I don't think Riot should like listen to take very seriously. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. Like it feels like you're a player that that needs to be catered to so extreme. Like the extremes of what you want. What you want is to push to such extremes that it might be like, I don't know. It just might be not worth making you happy. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not saying that this meta is perfect. There's things that could be optimized for sure. There's a lot of things that could be optimized. But if you're gonna go as far as to be like worst patch of the set, not saying everyone's saying this. I'm talking about the extreme people. People are like worst patch of the set. I hate it. It's terrible. It's awful. Blah, blah, blah. It's like wow. Okay. Well, I guess you're the kind of player that I don't think we should bother with. Yeah, I can understand KDA superfan and the reroll thing is not interesting, but I will also challenge that notion and say what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that? I think that it's the same concept as having strong late game cores, right? In my opinion, the superfan KDA is very similar to like Jazz with like Lucian MF and then play, or like having a core set of like Thresh, Set, Yorick, and Alawi. It's like it's just another strong package that enables a lot of things. And it's just another one of these facets. Like part of it is probably because people think it's too similar, which is like a subjective thing, but part of the reason why I don't have a problem with it is that I don't see it as any different as like the late game packages that a lot of people are doing as well. Like Superfan KDA is just a set of 4 units that goes in with another package of like reroll stuff, and you mix and match things. That's what TFT is. You're taking strong concepts and cores and you package them together, and then you like, what if I take KDA Superfan with this? What if I play with this? Like, I think that's fine. It's like almost complaining that admin, if admin was like a really good trait that enabled other reroll, you'd be like, well, it's just the same 4 admin units every single time. It's like, well, yeah, but like, because that's what the trait does. Like, Superfan is supposed to be, it's like doing exactly what it's intended. Like, Superfan is supposed to open up a lot of flexible carry lines. Like, that's exactly what it does. So when people are like, I'm so upset. Superfan flex carry is like a thing, and it's like, well, I don't know. That's like, isn't that what it's supposed to do? I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. I think it's too popular. I think that's what it is. It's too popular. But I think that's what the complaints are getting at, which I think is fair. Okay, enough macro commentary feedback about Superfan, I think. Feels exactly when supers where every single comp reroll has the same core and it's boring. Okay. I mean, I guess.
巴德这边终于把凯撒第三星，我的凯撒三星等了一整个阶段了。没错。
I can get behind the sentiment of it, but maybe it's like one of those things where if you nerf it though, then those comps aren't really viable without it. I don't know. I'm okay with it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm okay with it. I think it's fine.
感觉是要6处哎。
That's why I love Wandering Trainer. Oh man. Okay. I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I love Wandering Trainer personally, but I can see why people. Oh no, baby. I can see why people like it a lot. I mean, it's a different game. It's a different game than most people are experiencing.
蛮长的时间，大概10分钟可以看 VOD 思考一下。
思考一下三纳是不是可以摆中间，或许有机会好一点。
Another phenomenon, what's going on here is the game might be really balanced, but people say now it's not fun then. So it's like, okay, the game may have reached a balanced state, but the game is not fun. Do you guys think that's fair to say or no? The complaints now are like, well, it's balanced, but it's not fun. I thought Bebe quit. This is a different Bebe. It's a different Bebe. Okay, we got KDA Akali, 7 KDA. I do think KDA is too strong. I agree with nerfing an aspect of it. I think KDA is probably too much stats for very cheap. Balance equals fun. That is not true. That is not true. Because the game is pretty balanced right now. And I think a lot of people say it's not fun. They say it's boring. Where did you play this set in the tier list? Probably like, it's definitely top 5, maybe 4th. I'm of the belief people don't really understand the strengths of this set until it's gone. It's gonna be one of those things where set 11 comes out and I'm just gonna say it, we're gonna have terrible patches in set 11. We're gonna have moments where like this is so bad. Remember when it was like other patches were so much better? Like this was like the worst meta I can remember in a long time. Like, there's gonna be a moment in set 11 people say this is the worst meta of all time, 100%, and people are just gonna say something like that. And I think they're gonna reminisce about like, well, in set 10, I can't believe we had something like this in set 10, where all these 4 costs were playable and all these things were rerollable and everything like that. And now here we are. You click 2 4 costs. Wow, great meta. Good job, Mortar. Right? They're gonna do the same exact rodeo and pony show, and everyone's gonna eat it up, right? The streamers are gonna rant. It's the same episode, different season, the same rerun episode. Every streamer's like, how can Riot let it get to this? It's just these 2 4 cost comps that people play. Everyone's gonna eat it up because it's their favorite show, and people are gonna be like, man, anybody else miss when you could click more than just like these 2 units? There's a lot of clickable units in set 10 right now. That's like a really big set. That's a really big advantage of it. Okay, he didn't play best friends, but it's all good. He messed up on this, but he messed up on 2 units. Does Keeper work with Disco Ball? Yeah, it does. It does. Hot take: Flex will never be back as long as there are augments. That is a hot take because that's also literally not true. We've had Flex metas and people hated it. We've had several Flex metas since augments been introduced, and a lot of them did not like it. We've had socialite Flex metas, right, in set 6, and then that's like immediately like something that sticks out to mind. People were like, wow, the socialite hex was like so bad. It was like super oppressive at the time. My hot take is people don't actually really want Flex because Flex often means overpowered. Because the more flexible it is often means the more standalone power it has. So my hot take is people don't even know what they're asking for sometimes when they want flex, because flex means like almost inherently that it's overpowered. Because if it's more situational, that means it's not as OP. It's more conditional. It's gate kept by power of certain conditions being online. And the more like non-conditional it is, the more OP it tends to be. This is just a general. I'm painting in broad strokes. And so when people want more flex things, it usually means it's really OP. Jazz Latte top 4 with Disco. Hold on a second. Jazz Latte top 4 with Disco. That's a people clap. Hold on, I gotta do something. Like Disco is underrated, but that's a people clap. He also has Jin. Disco Jin. Have you ever seen this? He just texts in Jazz and Jin in his Disco board. Oh, this is kind of woke. What's going on here? What? Is Disco just keeps feeding Jin attack speed, which converts to AD, which then he converts into crit with IE. Anyways, these are all just like my ramblings. Like obviously, I'm sure you could poke many holes in the my logic of what I'm saying, and it's all just TFT discourse and like philosophical approaches to the game and whatnot. But I mean, I'm just rambling at this point. This is my yap, right? I don't yap about like I yap about yap. That's actually what I do. People are like, Frodan doesn't really yap. So that's not true. I yap about yap. If Frodan hits Disco and Jazz Latte plays Disco, Frodan hits Jazz Latte. That is literally not how it works at all. But if that's your conclusion, more power to you, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Wait a second. Jazz Latte is top 2 with Jin Disco. You know what? When people ask what the SEA tech is, you can just say it's Jin Disco. My God. What's your guess on set 11? Oh, I think Mort already revealed this. It's going to be Myths and Legends. That's right. Legends are coming back. Actually, it's not Legends in that way. It's like it's like a Greek mythology like theme, I think. Not actually Legends. Jin 2. Okay, man. Okay. Keepers, Jin 2 Disco. Okay, Yorick 2. Zed stuck. Zed is stuck. Jin's going crazy. Jin. Oh no, wake up. Oh my, this Jazz Latte guy is gonna do it. He's gonna make the big comeback. I'm feeling him. Dragons and Legends. Yes. It's I believe it's TFT set 11. Dragons, Legends, and Shadow items. I just look at the RNG aspect of it as RNG. If there are complaints against situational stuff, that's just a variable of the game. It's also how Setsuko's Endless Horse Frontier King Life and Team. Yeah, I think situational stuff is not bad. I don't think flexible, unconditional options that are strong are not bad. Like threats, I think. Is there anybody here who actually realistically did not like threats from set 8? I'm pretty sure threats were unanimously liked. Okay, Jin's in the corner this time. We have TF shielding. Oh, Zay got access to the back line. No. Man, that board was so cool. Oh, and he's playing like the crab, the Jock Crab Legend. Ew, he's burping. Gross. That little legend is like bottom tier. I don't even know what his name is. The buff crab. What were threats? Threats were non-trait units. Like traits, units that had no traits whatsoever. Alright, so that was game 2. Go ahead and look at the scores and get ready for game 3. Oh my god, they're doing Legends of Runeterra ad. Hold on a second. They're doing League of Legends. This is the MOBA that was based on TFT. I saw a Legends of Runeterra ad. Holy shit, I didn't even know they did those. Oh, here it is. You guys know that Riot had a card game? My god. Look at the animation. Okay, the animations are actually kind of sweet. Like,
man, I'm getting
look, imagine every time you like 3-star Morgana, this happened in TFT. Wouldn't that be sick? It would actually be kind of cool. It'd be actually kind of cool. Zine, thank you for the 4 months. I mean, Runeterra's got some sick art, that's for sure. But we have Prestige Lunar Festival Lee Sin for a nice, cheap $500. That's right. For 1 trip of Whole Foods or Lee Sin. 1 bag of groceries from Whole Foods, or you could buy a Lee Sin skin. It's up to you guys. You tell me what's the better value prop. Okay, game 2 results. Boomhate, Jazz Latte, Ray, and A-Ray and Chaos. Top 4. Mother Darling, Fomain, Rizu, and Kui. This is not the title from Japan. It's subtitle. That's right. Steppy is like the best player from SEA. Jose Paulo, best player from Philippines, in my opinion. Oh no. Ayaya. Food Time is a player we also recognize as well. There's actually a lot of good players in the top 3 too. Bebe with a cool 7th. 500. That's 5 top-ups on Honkai Star Rail. I got offered a Honkai Star Rail sponsorship. And I asked Ramblin if he'd be willing to do it for me because I don't know anything about Honkai Star Rail. And then we replied, and then they ghosted me. Should have done it. I said yes. I said yeah, sure. What are the terms? And then they Donald-walled me. And I'm like, I don't get it. You reached out to me, and I replied, and then they didn't say anything. I was like, okay. I said, sure. What are the terms, or what are the details? And then they didn't reply. Next level marketing. Now it's like they're like negging me, you know? They asked me out on a date, and then they rejected me. It's like, what? Steppy is Singapore servers Gigabeast. Random linked was short. Internet drama part 1. I'll watch this later. Okay, this is 3-cost champion. This is game 3 of 6. You got the Vi too. They got him talking about them without pay. I know, right? You know what? I'm not gonna even give them any more free marketing. I'm gonna talk about another game. Actually, I found out there's a lot of drama within like the whole anime weeb VTuber part of the internet. There's like a ton of drama. There's like an agency that is like straight up doxing their former clients or something like that. It was I'm struggling to understand how that's anywhere remotely okay, or like acceptable. I don't know. It was just I found out there's some weird drama going on in that, and I don't understand it. Yeah, it was the Niji Sanji thing. Okay, Caretaker Saver is probably generically the safest. I think people can take fully adapted and play into like a Karthus line or just like a 4-cost. You can play in like Disco, for example. If you had another tier, you could go for the double stack. Looks like he doesn't want to. Oh. Bulk is kind of awkward early. Always playing Punk. Maybe he's thinking about change trade sector for Punk. Okay. I mean, I can kind of get behind it. I guess I'm just like the thing about trade sector Punk is that it's surprisingly awkward because now he has this Punk where you use your free reroll for trade sector and then you roll for Punk, which is what's happening here. And that might not be like a bad thing per se, but you almost like never make gold. Like the thing about this is that you legit make your first interest gold at like 2.6. Because it's either that or you're just not hitting off a trade sector, one or the other. Adaptive center bar. You could go for it, but like you have to remember one thing is that what's the benefit of backline units having the frontline bonus, right? Like there's not a lot of backline units that are getting mana from being targeted, and the magic resistance and armor is like, you know, okay, I guess. Decent certain matchup. It's much better for frontline, right? When you put adaptive on frontline units, they get the ability to get all that defensiveness, and they scale off of like the mana and the AP that they get. So it's really good for like Blitzcrank, for example. Stuff like that. What is he watching? It's a game called Teamfight Tactics. It's an auto battler that was released in 2019. Also happens to be, in Riot's words, the biggest strategy game in the world. They made an anime based off this called Arcane. Okay, we got a disco game. I thought this was Team Fortress 2. No, this is actually World of Warcraft: The Frozen Throne. That TFT. Sleight of hand into Olaf. It's actually really good. Olaf is so OP with GG. Is Valorant also based off of TFT? No, not really. But it would be cool actually if Valorant actually one day makes its way into TFT. Don't you think? Like if Valorant characters made its way into TFT, that'd be kind of cool. That might be legitimately the only way for them to ever cross IPs in a meaningful way. The closest that we've gotten before that was they made Zeri and Neon, and they had the same designer like make both, and it was kind of like a cross collaboration between Valorant and Riots, because if you don't know, like Zeri from League of Legends / TFT is also very similar to Neon. It's like an electric based like zapper. Static Shock as if she was like a 13-year-old girl, something like that. Ooh girl. Anyways, I think that in my opinion, you know, everyone has their in case of emergency button, right? They break the fire extinguisher and they like, what do we do? Blizzard has like Lich King, right? Oh, we don't know what to do. We're running out of money. Boom, something with the Lich King. It's like, okay, great, amazing. Oh my God, the Lich King! It's so great. Take my money. The Riot. I think what Riot can do in TFT is do something like a multiverse thing. Yeah, pool party Ari. Yeah, pool party Ari. Basically. You can do a pool party TFT theme featuring Valorant characters. Boom. Valorant chibis. And you have like Zed Omen as your like backline carries or like your assassins versus Jet and Akali as ninjas. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. Okay, we have Urgot 2 in stage 2. Isn't this kind of illegal? Urgot 1 is already so OP on stage 2, and now we have Urgot 2. This Jazz Latte guy is kind of a cheater. Oh, blue buff Olaf. Perfect. Blue buff Olaf has no mana, so blue buff is... I mean, you get stats, but basically useless beyond that. If he loses this fight, because it's a blue buff Olaf diff for sure. Okay, he doesn't lose. His board is so strong. But if he did lose, it would be because of this blue buff Olaf. Hello, Jazz Latte. It's the cheater himself, Jazz Latte. How do you hit Urgot 2 on stage 2? Can you tell me? Very impressive. Oh, your disco Jin game was very cool. I like that one. That was really fun. The disco Jin game was very cool. Pool party Setsuko. Ah, I'll have things no one asked for $200. Pool party Setsuko. Oh, we raised the stakes on stage 2. Do you guys find raising this? Oh, he has 5 Heartsteel. Never mind. 5 Heartsteel, raise the stakes. Wow. Well, this lobby is actually kind of insane. We have things like Urgot 2, and we have 5 Heartsteel, raise the stakes with Cybernetic Bulk. This guy's gonna be so strong. Easiest Tiny Titans on 3-2. Tiny Titans on 3-2. This is Old King. 7 Jinxes. This is what I'm talking about. When you play Trade Sector, with Punk, this is what I'm talking about. You have no money. This guy is like 26 level 4. Because he's also had inconsistent streak. Like, I always feel like when you play this kind of strategy with Punk, you're just so broke all the time. You're just so broke. What doesn't kill you? Katarina. Okay. Chibi Frodan. I don't even know what Chibi Frodan would do. I basically cutscene you, and then I have an instant replay. I sit down in front of my computer to watch me cutscening you again. So I cutscene you twice. That's value. Now I would pay $500 for that. I cutscene you once, and then I co-stream my own cutscene. It's the longest cutscene in TFT history. Oh man. Listening Strikes here could be pretty good. Wait, is this the Jinx board? No, it's not, I think. Oh, it is. I don't think he has anti-heal, so maybe he can go for a bit. He's going for honor roll at 3-2? Oh, man. This guy took Trade Sector and honor roll. Woke. Yeah, I'm down for a Frodan Chibi. I think it sounds funny to me. Okay, he can't even buy this Olaf, or rather, this Olaf doesn't do anything because it doesn't give him honor roll value. Jazz Latte, full backline unified resistance. Wow. Level 6, 20 gold. He's a Zed. Ready to go. So it looks like Jazz Latte's playing AD Flex again. He played AD Flex. Game 1. Game 2, he played Disco and Jin. Like Jazz. Jazz Latte. He has to play Jazz every game. Wait, it makes sense. His username isn't Superfan Latte, it's Jazz Latte. All of a sudden, that makes so much sense. The problem is they'll never do it unless you die. Oh. Yeah, true. Because the problem with doing any likeness of a person is what happens if that person ends up being kind of a bad person or doing something kind of not cool. Like McCree from Overwatch. I don't even know what his name is now. But there's this dude in Overwatch who was not very cool, and his name was McCree, and then they named the character after him, and then it turned out he was not very cool, so they had to rename him. Cassidy, yeah. Now his name is Cassidy. Okay, Old King. I mean, I think the Old King's spot is like the exact game that Punk gets 5th. I feel like Punk, if you're not streaking early and have a lot of HP in your items, you end up in the spot where you're like in the middle of the pack. You don't get like, he's not low enough to get first pick spatula for like things like 6 Punk, but he's not high enough to feel like he's gonna bleed out in HP and cruise to a top 4. And this is the kind of games where like Punk goes like 5th or 6th. So I feel like his spot is not very good. What doesn't kill you? Vampirism. What a combo. This is such a good combo. Cybernetic plus item grab bag. Also a good combo. Rock solid. 45 HP. No Tiny Titans. Kind of unfortunate. If he got Tiny Titans, he could double raise the stakes. Looks like his item grab bag was declaw. This rock solid dude is handsome. His picture is just a little rock. Oh man, that's funny. His profile picture is just a rock. It's a well-cut rock. Is it a rock that's actually really big? Like, what if it's the scale? Like, what if a human stood next to it? It's like this. He only goes up to this high. Or is this like a pebble? 2 spat cash out. Double KDA emblem. 10 KDA, and he has blue buff. Oh. I mean, you can't do that. You can't do that. You need to get to level 9. You can't do that. You need to get to level 9, and you need to get KDA headliner. Edge. Yeah, the casters are talking about it too. The casters are talking about it too. I don't think you reasonably can because he's at 33 HP. If this was like another galaxy that could enable it, like maybe you could actually. There's one portal that comes to mind, Prismatic Finale. Because this Prismatic Finale, you could try to play off of like new recruit and get a +1 slot. Because you need slots on the board for 10 KDA. So if you can play like new recruit, you could go into 10 KDA. Or if you're playing like obviously like a wandering trainer or something like that, something that helps you get it on 8. Frodan Guides, yeah, exactly. Anything that helps you get you like an extra team slot. Or if he hits return on investment. True. Golden Finale could also play into that. Prismatics is much more likely though, because on 4-2, you don't have that many Prismatics you can hit. I think you can hit like 20 something. Let me go ahead and look actually. I think on Prismatics you can only hit, I'm gonna guess like 23. How many Prismatics are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. There's 25 prismatic items you can hit on 4-2. Not that many. And you get 6 looks at it. What portal is this? There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. No problem. I mean, I aim to serve. Rage Blade GS. We still have only 2 items on Jinx. 2 item Jinx is like you really want 3 item Jinx ASAP. One of the conditions to try to play Jinx, in my opinion, is you have to have like an ability to get items on her quickly. 53 HP. Is this PBE? Nope. That's Mortdog Stream. You're thinking Mortdog Stream. We play PBE. Teaming up, portable forward, healing orbs. None of these look particularly good. Stationary support is pretty decent. I can see you taking teaming up in general. Teaming up is fine. It's like a standard augment. I think I like stationary support the most. The nice thing about teaming up is sometimes you hit like the Kali or the 4-cost you're looking for. Shroud. Shroud is underrated. Shroud is like kind of weird this set though because there's so many units that have low mana cost like Ahri, Ezreal, Lulu, like all of them have such low mana pools, like because blue buff is really good this set. It doesn't feel like Shroud is nearly as impactful as it was in previous sets. Today, a Reddit guide said that Vi Chosen is much better than Jinx Chosen. Do you agree? I mean, in general, if you're looking at playing open and flexible, like if you're saying like I want to play Vi and then I'm willing to play, you know, fast 8 or tempo or reroll, I would say yes. Because Vi can use a lot more items than Jinx can. But if you're playing Punk specifically, I think that's debatable. Is this where I report bugs? What do you think, Falloop? Like, what do you think? Yes, Twitch chat. That's where Riot goes for bug reports. What do you think, man? Vampirism, 3's a crowd, GS, JG. GS is not bad. There's a surprising amount of like reroll or units in the back that you can hit with GS value for Katarina. I think it's fine. The double Hodge just to make sure that she can heal and hyper carry, and also you max your crits. The thing that you want with Katarina is for all those sword bounces to crit really hard. That's a big reason why people want double Hodge, max crit. But you have Vampirism to make up for half the reason you'd want Hodge, which is Vamp. And then, like, GS is still a good amount of damage. I think it's fine. Spatula? Dude. No one's picking Spatula. Myth, GGM. 3's a crowd, Cybernetic uplink, and Gifts of the Fallen. Okay, I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly what Myth is playing. Is this a safe space for yappers? I mean, I yap. I yap a lot about TFT. But I'm like a counterculture yapper, you know? I'm like alt yapping. I yap about TFT yap. Myth is the org he signed to. Okay. So GGM is his username. Oh, is this Gagamao? 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 Okay. Wait, didn't this guy retire? I saw him post that he's retiring from TFT, which you all know what that means. That means he'll be back in set 11. As you guys know, the louder you are about like quitting TFT, the less likely you are you're actually quitting TFT. Like, why, man? See you in set 11, man. The people who actually just quit TFT just leave. They just stop. No, rock solid. You went 8th. Did Milk quit? No, Milk's taking a break. Milk's taking a break. He'll be back to 11. Dude, every week, Milk chats about how much he misses TFT. Get this, get this. Mordog rated me, so I have some Milk hate watchers in my chat. Any Milk hate watchers? Milk every week is telling me and the boys how he misses TFT, how Riot's doing their best that they can. It's not Mordog's fault. You know, that their people are blowing it out of proportion. Isn't that wild? He is the voice of reason in that server. Isn't that wild? No, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I literally could go and pull up receipts, but obviously I would I have to ask if that's okay. He actually is like, nah, I think Mordog's in the right here. And everyone's like, what? Sounds like he wants a Riot job. No. It's not that at all. It's something called perspective. It's something called perspective. When you can zoom out. When your nose is so close to the screen that you're literally sniffing your monitor because of how deep you are in the TFT sauce, you can't really see anything. But a little perspective goes a long way when it comes to TFT and anything, honestly. You already know when he comes back. Yeah, exactly. When he comes back to TFT, it's going to be exactly the same as it was before. But for now, it is so funny because Soju's going on his rants. Setsuko's going off on his rants. Prestivan's going off on his rants. Keen's going off on their rants. And then Milk's like, I disagree. I think you guys are blowing it out of proportion. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I could not believe what I was reading. I thought he was trolling, like just to get under their skin and make them mad. I thought he was straight up just like memeing, but no, it's for real. Okay, we have Riven 2. 6 Rivens. We have Caitlyn 2, Viego 2, though. So it's like a reasonably strong board. We have a lot of HP. The difference between Jazz Latte set up with Riven versus others is that he has a stable 2-star Riven board. Like, a lot of players are in this spot, and they don't have Viego 2. I mean, he has Lucian as well. It's kind of high roll, but they have Caitlyn 1. And so the core around Riven is so weak that it feels like you need to hit Riven 3. So he can take his time, and he's a lot of HP. That's my favorite way to play Riven. But a lot of people play her like she's a Heartsteel. No, not even Heartsteel. A lot of people play Riven like they play Piltover or something like that, like Fortune. Like, okay, I lost 80 HP. Now it's time to start rolling. And now I roll and hit Riven 3. I win out. Oh, I missed. I go 8th. Old King finally gets 3 items on Jinx. I mean, you guys already know. I was not a fan of this Punk setup. I said that he'd go 5th or 6th. I overshot it. I guess he's going 7th. Sorry if you already answered. Is Soju tournament going to be on YouTube? It already went up. It is on my YouTube. I'm going to reply. youtube.com/@FrodanVods. BT, Gage, Akali, 6 true damage, Senna. This is pretty good. Pretty good setup. I think Senna just plays from such immense tempo, and I think the key to really unlocking Senna is dual carrying with Akali too. If you can hit Akali too, you cruise to a very easy top 2, top 3. Because you just have so much tempo on your side, and this Akali adds so much DPS, and a lot of people are not well equipped to deal with the Senna burst. In general, tanks are a little bit too fragile right now until they get like the late game comp set up, because there's 2 types of frontline. There's the Echo Nico frontline. You play Echo 2, Nico 2, Superfan. And then there's like the set Thresh Yorick Alawi frontline. And then every other variation, except for like Sentinels, maybe, are like a step below. And so Senna doesn't really have trouble cutting through any of those front lines until it gets to the late game. There's an argument that frontline in general needs to be buffed a little bit. in general. Part of the reason why Superfan is so good is because it's also one of the best front lines until you get 2-star 4 costs online. Like Superfan frontline like this is the best frontline in the game until you get like 2-star Blitz or 2-star Thresh or 2-star Zac and stuff like that. Like it's just way too good. I mean, to be fair, it's also 2-3 costs, so you're like comparing 3 costs to 4 costs, but it feels like I'd rather have Echo 2 and Nico 2 and like Kennen 2 than like a lot of other front lines though. Guardian's not there. Yeah, Amumu has its moments, right? For sure. You're not wrong. It definitely feels like a cut below the Superfan, probably because of the versatility of it. But you're not wrong. There are other front lines. But like we're not playing like like a bruiser. Like we're not playing like Gragas sets Zac bruiser and be like, wow, my front line feels really good. It's a little bit on the rare side for that kind of stuff. Wow, Peptico Kali bot 4. Our front line is not very good. We're playing around Nico. We have items on a Nico too instead of a Mordekaiser. We probably hit Mordekaiser really late. Oh, this Zed is on our Karthus. Oh. Oh. Gao Gao Ma. I think this Eggy guy has cutscened everybody in the game so far. Have you ever thought about competing yourself in TFT? Yeah, I have. I've competed many times in TFT. I even made a YouTube video about it. I almost made it to the finals of Noxus Cup last set. It was a great video. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done. It also happened to be one of the lowest viewed YouTube videos I've ever done, but it's okay. Not every video that you put out is going to be a banger, but it was one of my favorites I've ever done. People in TFT, people generally want the memes or the poggers or the tech. One of those three things. From my investigation, people want one of those three things. I also wanted to do a a video essay on Robin's Box boot camp, where Box did something crazy where he like or not Box. Robin played 12 hours straight to beat Dish Soap by like 5 LP on the very last game of Box boot camp. But I did a risk. I did not a risk. I did like a effort versus reward analysis of it, and I don't think it's worth it. I think unfortunately there's not an audience yet. I mean, part of the argument could be I could be the person that like cultivates that, but I think it's hard. I think it's because most of the people that watch TFT enjoy the entertainment aspect of it on something like YouTube, and they're not necessarily looking for like the story and the narrative. I mean, part of it is that I don't like we could do something for Wolfie, but Wolfie has something that TFT like. The Pokemon audience on YouTube is, I think, multiple factors bigger than TFT in terms of like established creators. Like TFT is still new because Pokemon's been around for like 25, 30 years now. And then not on YouTube, but like they've been like the audience is just different circumstances. But there could be a TFT tuber that exists as a storyteller. It's hard to do it in a medium. It's hard to do that right now. is what I'm trying to say. I think there's room for that years down the road. When people are past like just the game, they want a little bit more out of it. Right now, people are still just want to know about the game.
2星的伊罗伊当前排的一个迪斯科，对，那看起来想上10的人。
I don't know if the audience is there yet. There's like a different there's different phases of the audience, like in terms of like what kind of content and their journey in TFT. The TLDRs, I think TFT is still too new for it to like for a creator to like exclusively do that right now. I think years down the road, there's going to be an audience that really wants more because they know how rich the TFT scene has become, and I think that'll be a time where I can do stuff like that. We'll see. Let's be real, TFT's audience super casual. Yeah, but like, what about Pokemon? Pokemon is one of the most casual gaming scenes. Like, most Pokemon fans can't even name you more than like 10 Pokemon, unless you like remind them of it. But they'll consider themselves Pokemon fans. Okay, Riven 3. I mean, this Riven spot looks so good. I really like the way Jazz Latte played this. Obviously, he got lucky in the sense of hitting like Caitlyn 2 and Vega 2 pretty early, but like I liked this style of Riven much more than the Loose Streak Riven. A lot. I think he just picked a spot better this game. Dink donk. Also, I don't know if you guys saw this clip of Kai Cenat at the NBA All-Star game, but I thought it was the funniest thing. I don't know why, but I thought of Setsuko. I was sharing this with the server. I'll show you guys between games. I'll show you guys between this game. But like, I was laughing about it like all on the morning, and they're like, "What are you laughing at?" So that's what came up on my Discord. There's a big, super sweaty Porsche Pokemon. Yeah, but like Wolfie, it's okay. I don't want to go too much into it, but like YouTube is inherently casual skewed audience because of the way they like consume content and the way they're trying to go for it. It's like in general, there's very few communities that skew hyper competitive on YouTube. Twitch is inherently hyper competitive comparatively. Riven 3 just wins. All right, you guys, if you haven't seen this, you guys have to see this Kai Cenat clip. It's actually too funny. It's actually too funny. Okay, this is Kai. They're playing the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game, and this is Kai Cenat, who's a Twitch streamer. And he's just super wide open, and he's just jumping like, "Hey, I'm over here, I'm open, man." And this guy shoots, dead miss, air ball, nothing but air. Kai Cenat just like, "Hey, I'm open, hey," and he's just stomping his feet and everything like that. Complete miss. I just thought that was so funny. That was just so funny. Anyways, I was like, that's Setsuko. I don't know. All right. Let's go into the next game. That was game 3. We have 5 games today. We got 5 games today. All right. Our boy Wawa, friend of the stream, top 4. Steppy 6th. Bebe 7th. Wait, did this guy get +0? Wait, is that even possible? You got +0 for 8th? Okay, so some people ask me, would you gap like 4th to 5th or 1st to 2nd in tournaments? My take on that is you should gap 7th to 8th. You give 8th nothing. Why do they get points just for showing up? Make them earn it. I mean, I don't want a point. I don't want to give point gaps, but if I had to, I would gap 7th and 8th. Oh, he didn't show up? Okay. Good. I mean that makes sense too. Jose Paulo 6th. And we saw this game. Jazz Latte win. Chaos third.
这样的话，如果你就是拿你这把再拿到第一，
很有可能要是同分晋级或同分被淘汰
次数，然后前四次数当中呢，第一名会在1、3、4，你就会是4分，因为第一名会是2分哦。没错。好的，那这边
Do you see the Hall of Fame list? Oh, I did not. I did not.
在这个
I have not.
3费英雄。
I have not. One of these days, we're gonna have to do like a TFT player athletics thing where we have like creators go at it at a mildly athletic activity, and I would love to see it. But I don't know. I don't know what game that would be. I'm pretty sure we couldn't get them to play basketball. I'm pretty sure we couldn't even get them to play like dodgeball. Maybe bowling. Maybe we'll do bowling. That seems like a game that TFT players could do. Boxing? No. These TFT players are all like the gigas betas of all time. It'll be like the.
Man,
I mean, I guess maybe it'll be
again.
pretty funny, but like it'd be funny for like 5 minutes and then it'd be sad. Maybe 1 round boxing. I'm down for that. 1 round boxing. Best of 1. Thank you for the prime. Can TFT players lift bowling balls? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Why don't you get in the ring then? I mean, I'm the one that's commentating and adding the hype to it. I mean, I'm not saying like I would crush everybody, but I do think that I actually do have like a very little bit amount of MMA and fighting training. Like I know some basics, and I think if I know basics, doesn't that already put me at a major advantage over everybody else? Like I know how to grapple. I know some jujitsu. I know how to do basics boxing. So like if any of them let me mount them, they're totally screwed. Or if they give their back to me, they're totally screwed. Like 100%. Not like that, guys. I'm saying like okay, you know what? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You never expose your back, and if they get and these guys are gonna be like trying to run away from me in the ring. No, I'm talking about like the half mount versus the full mount. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Forget it. Forget it. Friends have to have dad strength. That's right. I have motivation. I can just I can channel the desire to protect my young one.
Man, I'm getting more dogged again.
Love, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back. More dog would be a beast in the ring. Yeah. My More Dog's anime character is I don't know if any of you guys watch My Hero. Well, actually, I really like Salvage, but Salvage is really good here. More Dog. There's a character in My Hero who gains more power based on how stressed he is. His name is Redestructo or whatever. Redestro. It's like a villain who he gets stronger based on how much stress he has. And that's Mort Dog. Basically, Mort Dog has this infinite supply of stress energy that he can unleash at any time. And so I would not. The Mort Dog's the one person I would not fuck with in the boxing ring because he's been channeling and harboring and cultivating that energy for years. Okay, we have Rich Get Richer, not leveling. He's not buying the jinxes. Okay, he is buying the jinxes. I don't think this is a good jinx spot though. We have BT, Edge of Knights. Those are much better things for like AD flex. I guess he could go stone plate. Like one way you can play is you can make stone plate, play on a Mumu or something like that. But I don't think you do. I think when you have Rich Get Richer, you want to go for like a level 8 roll down. Rich Get Richer is value the longer you can prolong the interest thresholds. So like the more you can kind of tick 50 to 70, the better. If you use Rich Get Richer just to roll down for one cost, it feels like it's kind of wasted value. Unless the one cost is so OP or your spot's so good for it. Ooh, too big to fail Olaf. I would pay $1 million to watch Mortdog and Milk box each other. I don't even think that's I feel like that's been overplayed. I feel like that's been overplayed. Milk vs. Mort is so like 2023. 2024 is I don't know actually. I just feel like it's not really current year, you know? Maybe like Bebe versus Riot's marketing team. Or Wajan Iverson versus Spencer. Frodan versus anyone who wants to mount him. They're not mounting me, man. At best, they would get in my guard, my full guard. Okay, we have blinged out, so one person committing to true damage. Do you guys think, how good do you think Senna is without blinged out? Or is it Yasuo? If you see someone rolling for Olaf, you can try to roll for Yasuo just for the odds. Oh wait, he leveled to 5. Okay, so he's playing tempo. Interesting. He's not playing Olaf reroll, he's just playing too big to fail tempo. That's fine. That's something that people theorize you can play. Okay, we got Riven. So we have 1 true damage, 1 Riven. It has to be Wajan versus Spencer? Yeah, I'm down. Although I feel like Wajan has the reach advantage. Isn't Wajan like really tall? I feel like Wajan's like 6'2" or something. Like 185 centimeters, something like that. 190. That's right. An American who's using the metric system. I'm like a unicorn, basically. I did this thing one time called travel outside the USA. Not to brag or anything like that. That's called a Canadian. Yeah, sure. Disso versus his chat. I like that. I like that. People from the US keep thinking 6 feet is big. It is. Do you understand the concept of an average? The average height is less than 6 feet. So if something is above average, it's considered big. Not that you would know. Actually, I have no idea who you are, so like I can't say anything. Two Urgots. Look at this Jax. This Jax just jumped in, and the 2 Urgots just one-tapped him. Actually, the too big to fail ended up being a good amount of explosion. I'm curious about this line. Too big to fail into tempo, and then you don't have to like reroll Olaf. You don't have to play a lot of bruisers, but you can find a way to you can just find a way to get a lot of tempo through the bruisers, giving you a bunch of meat and explosions. The explosions do a lot of damage, and then the bruisers do a good job like sacking, like tanking, and then you just have like a carry in the back. To be fair, 6 foot would be below average height in the Netherlands. What is the average height of a man in the NL? In feet. 183 cm. 6 feet is average in the Netherlands. Is that right? 6 feet is average in the Netherlands. What are they feeding people over there? I'm not 6 feet tall. I'm 176 on a good day.
打到对手，对手这边也是把妆全部合下去了。
Cheese, that is true, and a lot of bread. When I was I stayed in Holland or Netherlands for a little bit when I was living in Europe. There was a time where I stayed for a while in the Netherlands, and every morning, man, it's just the same thing. It's bread and cheese and maybe some meat slices, like meat cutouts. It's just that's all it is for breakfast for forever. That's just what breakfast is in the Netherlands. And then maybe tea. You get some tea. Tea, bread, meat slices, and slices of cheese. Like that's just what breakfast is. I stayed there for like 2.5, 3 weeks, and it was just the same breakfast every single day. Same in Argentina and Spain. I mean, I was blown away. I was like, what about like, you know, like, because an American breakfast, the menu is like, it's like 3 pages long with different things. You get pancakes and waffles and eggs and toast and, you know, all this kind of thing, and like all different kinds of syrups and jams. Like, no, you can have like, you know, 2 slices of cheese, meat, and bread, and like some black tea. All right, wonderful. Their menu's like 5 things, but it's also very affordable, and also the weather is like perfect. I was staying in a town called Enschede in Netherlands. It was great. I was staying with I don't know how many people here know Tice from Hearthstone. He's like one of the most legendary EU players ever. Top 10 of all time easily, and at least up until my remember of it. But I was staying with Tice. Wonderful human. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he's found like a lot of great things in life. Okay, we got glove or rod off of salvage bin. So this is just AD, just playing Kaisa into 80 flex. Okay. I mean, they have chocolate sprinkles on their bread. That is true. That is true. That is true. They have like bakeries are like the biggest thing, the most common stores that I saw from where I was in the town that I was staying at. Vi holding the ribbon items, and we have Banshees. Wow. Does Crib still do Hearthstone? Yeah. Have you ever had Finnish summer soup? I have not. Finland's one of the only European countries I haven't had an extended stay at in that area. I stayed in Norway, I've stayed in Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, all like the Nordic, like north parts of Europe. Finland's like the one country I haven't spent extended time in, and I wish I did. Maybe one day. We have 2 big. We have 2 people with too big to fail. Look at this. Wow. Impressive. Okay, let's see what they can do with that. That's pretty interesting. Ever been to Iceland? No. But I mean, I see like Valorant go to Reykjavik or their Valorant Masters. That looks cool. I mean, you can't really get a good sense of Iceland from inside of an esports arena, but the B-roll looked cool. Hey Barry, thank you for the prime. Thank you, Barry. How was this K3 Soju Invitational? Was it a success? Just to get rid of the ads. Sorry, man. Sorry. Iceland is where my wife went. Actually, it's a little bit sad because my wife, her husband passed away during COVID, and so my sister is a single mother. But one thing that she wanted to always do with her husband was to visit Iceland, and they couldn't because he got sick. And then she decided to go on an Iceland trip last year, and she said it was awesome. It was awesome. So she ended up going on that trip, but you know, by herself. But she told me that Iceland's like amazing. It's vodka in a floral plate. Oh god. Finish Summer Suit, vodka in a floral plate. Yikes, man. My alcohol tolerance is like 0. Viewership was lower than expected, but I think the Friday noon slot and VCT going on at the same time was bad. Yeah, I think you guys need to do it towards the beginning of the set. Like this is in general, like this is the lowest viewership will ever be for a TFT set. The final 2 weeks of the regular season before like playoffs, aka regionals, and before worlds. So yeah, you guys picked an awkward timing of it. But next one should be better, right? If you ever come to Poland, you get instantly bullied for your hair. Well, I did go to Poland before, multiple times, many times, in fact, and no one bullied me for my hair. So, yeah, I don't think Polish people are like that rude. How was Poland? It was freaking cold, man. So goddamn cold. I mean, I've been there for esports events. I went there for like, you know, IEM, for example. But like, man, Poland is like so cold. God damn. Also, I had polenta, and I would say that it's Polish food, the Polish dumplings, stuff like that. I like it a lot better than German food. No flame to Germany, but like I'm in general, I'm not a big fan of German food. I like Poland food better. Yeah, pierogies. Yeah, I like them a lot better. I mean, it's just personal preference of taste. But I'm generally not a fan. I lived in Germany for a couple of years. That's why I'm not just saying it because I traveled. I'm a tourist. I lived in Germany for a couple of years, and I just couldn't really get behind it. The German food. I will say late night German food, like the doner that you can get on the street, though, especially if you are out like after like we went to like a football game and everyone was like celebrating. I mean, our team was bad because Berlin's team is like awful, and like I think we played against Schalke and they like destroyed us. But doner at late at night on the streets of Germany is like pretty good, I will say. It's like really good drunk food. 6 heart steel, by the way. 6 heart steel. You mean Austrian food? I mean, I'm eating it in Germany. I don't know what to say. I guess it's not really German food, but it's assimilated. You're not wrong. But like American Mexican food is also like judged by the same standard. I don't know. I guess you guys are not wrong. It's not even German food. Zach headliner. If this was a too big to fail, wouldn't this spot be insane? Okay, not really. We don't have carry damage. We don't actually have a 2-star carry that is like very reliable. We're playing MF carry. Oh, that is not what you want to see. Healing orbs. Wait, this guy is the ultimate dizzy package. Salvage bin and Pandora's. He's just missing blank slate, and then he has like the triple golden augments that like make you dizzy. Have you ever heard or played Legends of Runeterra? Yeah, we saw a Legends of Runeterra ad on this very broadcast, man. Legends of Runeterra. Hot take. I actually like Path of Champions. I think Path of Champions was the most fun I had playing Runeterra in general. I don't know if it's like one of the things where it warrants the entire game pivoting to focus on Path of Champions, but that is the game mode that I played the most on Legends of Runeterra. I'm just saying. I'm just stating what I spent the most time playing. I played some PvP, but in general, I played Path of Champions way more. And it's not a lot, by the way. I think the amount of hours I put in the Path Champion is like 50 hours. Not even. Nah, probably a little bit more than that, actually. There was like a couple weeks when I just played it like every day. Oh gosh. We're still playing Kaisa 2 at 4-3. That's not good. Kaisa's just stuck on all these like tentacles and stuff. It's so sad. These single target, like the thing about this Alawi unit is that she basically griefs half the cast. Like half the roster gets countered by tentacles. She just basically keeps autoing and shadow boxing this tentacle and then just revives. Your friend used to cast Runeterra? No, never. They did invite me. Back in the day, they invited me and Brian Kibler to come cast Legends of Runeterra, and I just never. It was never. I was never available. If I recall correctly, when Runeterra released, that's when Hearthstone Grandmasters was like still in swing, and I was just too busy to cast anything else. The only other game I made time for when I was casting Hearthstone Grandmasters was TFT, and that was really hard. being able to cast Hearthstone and TFT at the same time is like really hard. In fact, it shouldn't be like a hot take at all, but in general, I don't think you could cast TFT and another game to the level of which it's very difficult. Rather, let me put it this way: it's very difficult to cast TFT well at a game that I think the game deserves to be at, and cast another game and be like top tier at both. It's very hard. TFT is such a difficult game to be your side hustle, and yet it's most people's side hustle. If you actually look at all the TFT casters, almost everything, they almost have all one thing in common, which is that TFT is their second game. They do like another game and then TFT on the side, which is kind of sad. But I mean, TFT doesn't. It's not enough to full-time cast, so I don't blame. It's not like their fault. You can't really like make TFT your full-time thing. It doesn't pay enough, and so you have to do something else. But at the same time, I don't think you can like reasonably do the best job you possibly can if it's not like something you focus on. And so when I quit Hearthstone and I said, well, I guess I'm just focusing only on TFT, I instantly became like twice the better caster like that at that set. Because I decided to focus on TFT more, and all of a sudden I just like realized how bad I was at TFT, and I like got a lot better at it. But it's something that I didn't even realize. I thought I was doing a good enough job when I was doing both, and I didn't even realize that I got so much better at it when I focused only on it. Okay, so half the lobby is playing like 80 flex. This is gonna be tough for a lot of people who are low in HP because they're scrapping together. You see the new Hearthstone expansion being paid to win? Yeah, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. I was towards the end of my time at Hearthstone, I was kind of being a little bit more outspoken about how I think the game was too expensive, and like it was the way Hearthstone was monetizing was trying to milk the rest of their players as opposed to growing the game, and I didn't like that. It is what it is, I suppose. Or steal Ezreal. But like, do you sell this Caitlyn? You kind of want to dual carry. Selling Caitlyn here is okay, I guess, because our front line's bad. Like, Caitlyn's kind of good too. This is like a slight upgrade. Like you're like, it's not that big of a high roll. It's not that big of a high roll. Our front line's still kind of sus. We're playing Gragas 2 with no items. We're playing Zaquan with Sunfire. He just reforged a TG. He reforged the Thieves Gloves into a Morello. Okay. We put red buff. We didn't put red buff on Ezreal. We put red buff on Zed. We put GS on Ezreal and we put red buff on. Okay. Okay. That's not what you want to see. You want to optimize this a little bit further. This guy is going 8th. All right.
就他装备先给一给了之后，巨杀先做了。如果这样，可能要先敲。
Did you cast League Worlds or CS Major? I once upon a time, young Frodan wanted to do that. Like I wanted to be like the hype caster that you would like, you know, want to hire for the big majors at those stadium events, and then after I say something really clever with like wordplay or I'm rap godding, I like look at Reddit to see if there's an appreciation thread. I mean, that was me once upon a time, just like every other caster. But I think I'm at a part of my career, thankfully, where I feel like I've gotten enough experience that it doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't need to cast the finals. I don't need to get the appreciation thread stuff because I'm established. So I'm fortunate enough to not need that to feel like I'm doing a good job. But when you're starting off, it feels like that's almost entirely deciding your value, which is like such a hard way to go about like evaluating your career success, like Reddit's opinion of you. But like a lot of casters these days literally cast with Twitch chat open. They literally have Twitch chat on their phone. This is actually something that people don't really know, but a lot of esports casters literally cast with like Twitch chat on their phone. And some of them are literally looking at chat half the game instead of actually looking at the game. And almost like relying on that to be like telling them what they should talk about or if they're doing a good job. It's actually an industry secret that people don't talk about. And some people even say it's good to do that. They're like, well, yeah, you're like feeding off the... It's like almost like feeding off the energy of the crowd. I'm like, okay, sure, you can justify it that way, but... I don't. I guess I'm a little old school. I don't prefer doing that. And it's in every game. Every game. League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota, FGC, all of them. Even TFT, it happens. I see casters who do that in TFT. It happens everywhere. But I mean, it's just a stylistic choice, right? Like I don't know, maybe that's why they're great. Who knows? Maybe that's why they keep getting hired. I'm a little bit out of the caster game now, so I almost feel like I can't really comment on that much. Sazuko went 1-8, 1-1, 1-1, 8-1. Sounds about right. Old King went 7th again. In general, I think that my takeaway from some of these games is that I feel like some of these players are playing the 80 flex line and they don't really understand what makes some of their boards stable. I feel like a lot of people are still over prioritizing Ezreal and not trying to prioritize stabilizing with their melee carry plus the front line. Ezreal is good for sure, but you also still need to make sure the other two components of your composition. There's a reason why everyone's like saying like Zed's OP. It's because Zed exposed a really big part of the comp that you kind of need consistent DPS that isn't just reliant on hitting Ezreal too. And even then, Ezreal's like kind of a fraud because sometimes this guy just dies because like I don't know, he thinks he's faker or he thinks he's Gamma UC. IMO is becoming like that because knowledge is less important than entertaining when the average audience is super casual. I mean, I could see that. I think it's just... I think these days in particular, finding a way to stand out is becoming harder because there's fewer jobs available and things are becoming a lot more... Like, it's just a different landscape. Oh, this guy's trapping his Jax. Oh my god, he's playing Lux 3 Trap the Jax. Okay. It's hard, man. It's hard making your hustle as an esports caster. I don't want this to be interpreted as like Frodan's like thinks esports casting sucks or whatever. I'm just having a dialogue about like things that I'm observing about casting. If whatever works for these people to keep their jobs in the middle of an economic landscape that tries to constantly cut jobs from under them, people are trying to find excuses to not hire esports casters. Okay, we deleted the Ezreal, but do we even win this fight? We lost. Like this is the thing about Lux is that like you kill the backline carry, and then you realize there's a Poppy 2, and then you realize there's a Zed 2, and then you just realize that Lux can't kill anything. Kind of close though, kind of close, kind of close. Zed is balanced. It's more like this is Lux's greatest weakness, which is why people don't really play Lux very a lot. Esports casting sucks for sure. Damn. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say esports casting sucks for sure. I would definitely say that in general, there's... Okay, you guys want to talk about like why does everyone sound like Soju? why do all the esports casters sound the same to me? That's a question I like to throw out there. My version of that is why do a lot of esports casters all sound the same to me? But I do think that there's a little bit of lack of innovation in terms of like what commentary styles. We need more hype in TFT casting. I think there's a lot of people that disagree with it. Is there anybody else here that thinks that TFT casting needs more hype? I feel like hype is one of the things that TFT casting has an abundance of. I feel like a lot of people are feeling like, if anything, there's too much hype. Too much hype. Or rather, there's not enough things besides hype. The overlay needs fixing? What do you mean? Oh, this is game 4. But it's game 4 out of 6, but it's still 3-cost champion. No, it doesn't need more hype. Manufactured passionless hype is completely off-putting. I'd rather hear actually interesting analysis. And that's a preference, right? There's people... The answer is that there's people that are wanting both of those types of things. There's a group of people that want the hype. You can't deny that Vegas, a big part of the reason why it's such a good product is because of the hype. Vegas was extremely hype. And that's an important part. Where's the line, I guess? Samira 3 with Gunblade. Wow, these Samira items are actually really good. These might look like, okay, where's like the Infinity Edge? But when you have 6 Executioner, you actually don't need that crit. This is a game where 6 Executioner might actually do well. And it's Jazz Latte playing it. Okay, it sounds like I'm glazing this Jazz Latte guy, but like I feel like he's regularly spotting the right times to play these comps. Because 6 Executioner is, again, a comp that you don't really play very often, but you kind of have to know when to do it. And he's itemizing very, very smartly. Isn't Runin's Samira kind of shit? No, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I think the data actually thinks it's very good. Samira Executioner, because the thing is, her style and flair when she casts, just pay attention to it next time and you see the runes effect. It's pretty cool. She's like shooting like all these other bolts, and she does a lot of AD as well. So like the runes bolt is very good because the runes bolt converts off the amount of AD that you have. This is one of those rare scenarios where I think executioners might even like win the lobby. Probably not. It depends on how these people position, because a lot of times people get caught by executioner because of bad positioning. Executioner is really dependent on like Vex punishing clumps and Samira locking on to carries, because Samira's single target damage is outrageous, but it's like short bursts. So if you position correctly into that, get a tentacle in front of Samira, get like declump for the Vex, you can really punish executioners very hard. Riven, Shroud Riven, Even Shroud, Morello. Would you reforge this redemption and try to go for like a third item on Caitlyn? Playing 5 8-bit? Oh, because we want the big shot for the Jazz synergies. Jazz in general is a really good top end for Riven now. That's something that people have done. If you're playing Riven and you're not thinking about teching in Jazz, you should. There's a couple times where you like don't. If you're playing around like edgelords because you hit Kayn or something like that, you can probably justify not playing because Kayn 2 is so good. Riven's just drain tagging everything. She tanked both the Ezreal and the Zed and didn't die. My god. Never mind. Jazz Latte died. Okay, that's a good third. Riven's gonna win again. Dude, Riven, I think Riven's won so many games today. Is Riven just OP? What do you guys think? Vegas is one of the most hyped esports event I've ever saw in 2013. Wow. Great. I'm glad they think so. Okay, Kiana is on to the Riven. That's good. Well, sort of. Never mind. She's actually not CCing and doing anything. Okay. And Riven's now in the back line. Don't mind if I do. 1 carry down, 2 carry down, 3 carry down. Riven just beats everything. Riven wins again. I think 8-bit is OP. I mean, 8-bit is very, very good. I think Riven's won half the game so far today. It's also reflected in the stats. I've been compiling stats for people who don't know. I've been compiling stats for the scrims. Riven has the highest win rates alongside Kale and Senna. Even higher than Hearthstone AD Flex. But that's because Hearthstone AD Flex is played so often, so its win rate gets dragged down. But it's one of the highest win rates for the popular comp. The average is actually kind of low though, which is interesting, right? It wins so many games, but its average placement is low. So it turns out that it wins a lot of games, but the average placement is not. So if you are able to get in a good Riven spot, you have a very strong likelihood to win the game. Do you watch LOL esports? Some. The thing about League esports that's hard is that NA sucks. And it's just not fun to watch NA be bad. Especially coming from a game where NA is the best region in the world. It's just like, it sucks to go watch a game where NA is bad. Steppy third, Wawa fourth. Jose Paolo top 2. Let's go, Jose. The problem with Riven is getting her 3-star and fully itemized. I mean, yeah, for sure. Like Riven. Also, I think a lot of people try to force Riven from spots where they have to hit or they die. Hey, Frodan. Chad just got here's the meta mostly 2-cost reroll. No. Actually, it's been won by Hearthstone, Jazz stuff, and Riven. 2-cost reroll has done okay. At least on stream. Maybe in the other lobbies that are not being featured, but it's not 2-cost reroll domination. Not even close. Jazz Latte number 1. Guy's a beast. All right, game 5 coming up. Okay, by the way, I asked chat earlier. This guy reminds me of somebody, but I can't really put my finger on it. He reminds me of somebody in like in TFT, but I can't really put my finger on it. Okay, Jose Paulo. We get to watch him for the first time. Oh, he's not in this lobby. Sag. I want to see Jose Paulo play. Loaded carousels. What happened to Too Big to Fail? No, not. We only had one person. I think one person went 4th, but in general, I feel like it got outscaled. One of the Too Big to Fail players got stuck on Zach 1, and he had like Gragas 2, Set 2, and that's it. So he struggled. And then the other too big to fail the player didn't hit either. Two cost reroll won 4 lobbies in total. And so there were 6 games, 4 lobbies, so 24. It won 4 out of 24. That's reasonable. 4 out of 24 is 1/6. So 17%, something like that.
如果进的话会选择吗？啊，结果没有进，哈，3组对子不够。
Okay, we got Rod and we have Bo. He reminds me of an actor. I don't know. He looks like Kai. No, I don't think he looks like Kai. Eye shape is too different. Is Vertical Country good? It is really good if you get a spatula and you can get the 3-star stuff online, like 3-star Samira and Urgot. There's a lot of things that need to go right for Country to be good. Otherwise, I think it's okay. You'd rather just play around like Urgot. Or you'd rather play Executioners, I think. Okay. Buys Kennen. Switching gears. Component buffet. Oh, he takes Silver Spoon. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, there's a lot of case for different things. Silver Spoon's a lot better when you don't have a headliner, I think, right? Because you could use it to pre-level into certain things. Or am I misunderstanding? Does Silver Spoon count your level for your headliner? I think it does. But a lot of these guys want to fight for tempo. I personally like switching gears in a tournament environment because it's kind of hard to guarantee streak. A lot of people win-loss. Oh, I think it's before. Okay. And then Component Buffet is also really good too. He had a lot of good silvers. What was your favorite TT set? Probably set 6. The first time augments came to the game was kind of an oh shit moment. Like, this is awesome. Like the moment I played augments, even the very first game, I knew that it was going to be a permanent mechanic. I was like, it just has to be. It's like this game is so much better with it. The game is just so much better with it. Just remember. Okay, does anybody here remember Stillwater Hold? Stillwater Hold, the portal in set 9 that had no augments. Like, after that, the debate was forever settled. There was a group of players that was like, augments need to go. It's like the worst thing about TFT right now. I can't wait for them to like it's a mistake, whatever, like to take augment to keep augments as permanent. There's a group of players that legitimately wanted augments to never come back after set 6, especially after set 7. They're like, you know what the problem is? It wasn't dragons, it's augments. And they finally did it, and it turns out it was like one of the worst TFT gaming experiences we had in set 9 on top of all the other things. Like, Stillwater Hold was so unpopular. So unpopular. It doesn't mean no one liked it, but it was like one of those moments where people's bluff got called. Okay, we have JG, Spark, and Deathblade. Deathblade's a super fan item. So we took item grab bag. We have JG, Spark. There's a good Katarina setup. JG is okay on Seraphine. It's weaker on Senna because you don't have a lot of AP sources. We'll see.
接下来介绍这位 K 选手，他的头贴是我觉得这一次最有趣的头贴了。这个人头贴比石头人的还
Best portal, no, worst portal, worst portal.
就不知道谁比较厉害，但这个人也跟石头
It's so bedge, man. It's so bedge. Nothing happens.
哇，然后这边有一个哦，消防单勇选了一个贾克斯，他一个正义，那是行还是超粉？
It's because augments were poorly balanced. That is true.
这边一波暴击打下去，哇，法爆，
That is true. That's because we also didn't really know how to balance augments nearly as well.
关键的 CT 技能。
That's a big part of it. We didn't really understand how augments should have been approached. I mean, for crying out loud, for in set 6, we used to give +2 to a trait. You get Innovator Soul or whatever, and you get +2 Innovators, like right there. Imagine you start off this game with what? +2 KDA or something. There was like some really wild concepts in augments when we first played. Binary Airdrop was a silver once upon a time. We got a spatula, 8-bit emblem. Dude, Riven's gonna win another game.
More dogged again.
All right, I just feel like Riven's gonna win
Mr.
again.
Frodan, I subscribed earlier to watch the VOD of the Soju Invitational, but it still wasn't available after my sub. Do you know why?
What up, Jensen? Or Jenserson? I don't know why. It might be a bug. It should work. Also, it's on YouTube if you want to watch as well. I'm sorry. You can ask a mod about it potentially, but you should be able to see it. Hero augments are really fun, but definitely not meant to be min-max. Sort of. I mean, hero augments are like, there's elements of hero augments that are fun for sure. People love the boss. People liked Rift Walk. There's even some hero augments in set 8 that were awesome. And people liked them. But in general, hero augments were not it. Riven was a 2.0 average for this tournament. These Riven spots are illegal. 8-bit emblem with the bow. Heartsteel, blood money. Jax. I heard some people say that Jax is always bait. Are there any Jax believers? I mean, this is not going to be Jax because we have Sunfire. But I like Jax. I mean, Jax falls off a cliff late game, but it feels like a very free top 4. And then you want to play Jax/Urgot. Cassius just said, Wawa, yet another Riven. I mean, Riven's really good. There's nothing really to say. Bebe on a 5 streak. Okay, Bebe. TTV Bebe 1112. It's a real channel. It's a real channel. I actually looked this up. It's a real channel. This Bebe guy is not actually like an imposter. He didn't change his username. Unlike Latam. In Latam, there were 2 players that changed their usernames to Setsuko and Soju just for fun. They changed their name to Setsuko and K3 Soju. Just a meme. I think this guy's username is legit Bebe. Jack Zonius is, yes, Jack Zonius is still very strong. His pic is his high school graduation photo. No, man, it's Bebe, but he went to business school and got a haircut and apparently became Thai. It's getting a little warm in here. I'm gonna open up the window. It snowed the other day in Seattle, so it's been like colder lately. I like it a lot. IE, Gunblade, and Red Buff. Okay, so a lot of people still going. Like, it looks like at least 2 to 3 people still playing Heartsteel every lobby, and then we have like 1 Riven reroller. We have a couple of 2-cost rerollers at most. Pentakill. I feel like that's most of the meta, anyways. We see kind of a little bit of one-off beats, like we saw Executioner's last game, top 4. BBTY. Rage Blade.
Alert message. Thanks for the advice a few days ago to turn off videos and streams while playing. Was hard stuck Emerald for 60 plus games. Same day I listened to your advice. Went straight to Masters XDD. It looks like I got straight boosted. https://prnt.sc/xr
Don't put the link in the description, man. HTTP. Congratulations.
Oh wait, what's Frodan doing?
Nice job, Potterton. Congratulations on Masters from Emerald, 60 games. Yeah, it turns out if you're playing TFT less distracted, you can focus on making more consistent decisions. Oh, man. DXN, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you, man. Hope you had a good stream, buddy. How's life? Cash out. One glove, not bad. I'm gonna try to compete next set, by the way. At least one event. I might do the thing. Okay, I might compete in the first event and then co-stream the rest of the event because the baby comes in May. The next set comes out in March. The first event should be in April, and I think that is the only timing window I think I have to be in competitive form. So I think I might try to do that. I want to try to compete once a set because I think it's good to continue to get a good sense of like the pulse of what the player perspective is. But yeah, we'll see. Generally, how good do you have to be to compete? I mean, challenger is usually safe, and that's usually where I am. And then once the baby comes, I'm definitely gonna have to take time off from streaming, which I hope everyone understands. And then I'll definitely try to make sure I can have something ready for the big events. But if anything happens, I'll let you guys know. Another spatula for the Riven player. You don't need a second spatula. That's overkill. Overkill. Reverie gets spatula. Gargantuan resolve. Little buddies. We actually have a handful of reroll. Someone took heroic grab bag. What if you make it to Worlds? I'm not making it to Worlds, man. If I make it to Worlds, I will play in Worlds, but I'm not going to make it to Worlds. If I do make it there, you have my guarantee. Obviously, I'll play in it. I might be the first person to ever be a caster, then become a world champion. That'd be kind of cool. It's a great thing about TFT, man. Even the casters can become world champs. I hope the baby has blue hair. No, I don't. I hope the baby. I want the baby to be its own individual person. I mean, what if it's like the anime? What if it's anime character and it comes out with half blue hair? Because that's how you sell it, right? In anime, it's like, well, this person has white hair and this person has green hair, so it's half white, half green. Like, oh, that makes sense. Not really. What if this baby comes out with half blue hair? Will you be casting your own games? I mean, I might VOD review my own games. Okay, so this person's really healthy. Red buff, blue buff, IE, good spots. He's not getting like unified value on his backline right now. I don't know if he cares about that. Looks like he's on a 2 loss. Okay, he's moving into the back. 8-bit Gnar. Last stand. 2 Rivens. Okay, if he gets everything online, this guy's gonna win out. If he gets all the Riven stuff online, he's actually just gonna win the game. Last stand Riven Indomitable Will with an 8-bit emblem. Gnar's a good 8-bit holder. I can see it.
好了，麦天选
第一排
上怪，
关键时刻。
3块
哇
，$3.
三费卡都说哇
又进一张。
The casters are funny. Oh, he hit another one.
冷静，这个时候千万要冷静。
Alawi. I feel like I'm open to buying an Alawi on 7. I'm open to it.
进一张主球在2张，所以下回合有机会直接参进，甚至
This board flashbangs. That's a yeah. I mean, I like this board. I think it's fun. No. Oh, he wants 8-bit Riven? This guy's insane. All right, he just rolls past the Riven immediately because he wants 8-bit Riven.
怎么那么多？博尔哥，
Wow.
球了8币的雷文，快来！8币的，
快来。
8币的8，
先随便抓一只吧。感觉要随便抓只给装，因为这边装备给不上去。
That can't be right. I mean, you can buy that Riven and carry it temporarily, then sell it. You don't have to roll a lot. He is at 22 HP though. Like another thing to think about is times of the essence. But it is a little bit on the greedy side. I think it was totally acceptable for him to buy that Riven and then wait to see what happens on 4-2 and then sell and roll again. I think you could have done that. But he did have a ton of gold and he was thinking about skipping it. To see if you can hit the right one. Skip. Crash test dummies versus combat caster. I don't know if I like cybernetic bulk very much. Oh, I thought this was the Riven board. We switched. Fast 8. Didn't buy Caitlyn. Skipping a bunch of frontline options. Okay. Good. That's good too. You can play Aphelios. You can play Aphelios. You can play Aphelios. Okay. Well, there's a lot going on, to be fair. There's a lot going on. Age of Night on the Caitlyn. Okay. I mean, it's just an execution thing. It's more like this person probably knows if this is good. It's just one of those things where you don't get it on in time, and all of a sudden you're just feeling like lost and like, ooh. The setup is strong. The setup is strong. Just needs to optimize a little bit further. You can't like he can get away with it this fight, but like, yeah, no, you need to make sure you're tight on that. You can also have played 5 Heartsteel. Nah, it's not execution. He also didn't buy Caitlyn. I mean, he didn't buy Caitlyn. He didn't buy a lot of the frontline options. I think he should have bought on the way down. I give that roll down like a 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3 out of 5. You know what? 2.5 out of 5. I would say it's an average roll down. I give it a 3 out of 10. Damn, man. All good. It's just it's okay because he still hit. It's all good.
我这边手他有可能拿铲子直接和68 beat， 我刚才这样想的，就是这边故意不打。
你说手动吧？
对对，手动68 beat， 因为他那边有一把弓。
你天选不来，我也不要了。
没错。
Okay, so we have
正义应该也是能消化，问题也不大。
We have like that. Rizudif is playing Heartsteel. Sai's playing the Riven. We have what is Koi playing? I feel like we haven't seen that. BBTY is also playing 80 flex, I think. Still looking at the Riven. 8-bit. He buys and sells it. You can play it temporarily. He's rolling specifically for headliner 8-bit Riven. He needs exactly headliner 8-bit Riven. And he has no gold. I mean, you can just play it for like 2 rounds. One round.
这里俄语或许合了。
Also, he did the buy sell. Does that even work?
好难，这边好难哦。
其实刚刚有一个选择是盖伦先抓，
对，我也觉得盖伦先
用一回合，
然后再
就是可以考，是一个选择啦。有盖伦先用一回合，先把68 bit 开出来。
So buy sell is just griefing yourself. You just lose a gold.
反正你有个性盖伦，等下平替啊。对。不管怎么样，还是要先把血给4D。还没一搏，那很好。
He has last. Yeah, I think he could have tried to play a board to win the next 2 fights. And maybe proc last stand in stage 5, or maybe like potentially delay it, but now he procs it guaranteed. So now he has to hit. Okay, the heroic grab bag looks like it went for Seraphine. I don't know. I personally think Seraphine is like kind of weak without combat augments. No, there's no what? This guy was so broke and he just hits. Oh, that is unreal. That is unreal. Oh my god. There's no way. Yeah, like he rolled a 0. Oh my god, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. That is actually insane. He was probably going 8th, and now he might win the game. Is that Bebe? I subbed to him. Is he done streaming? No, this is different Bebe. Different Bebe. But yes, I'm pretty sure Bebe is done because Korea and Twitch is officially closed down. There is nothing that Bebe can do about that. Sad times for Twitch Korea, unfortunately. I wish that that wasn't the case, but basically Twitch has announced that it was not profitable to operate in Korea, and for them at least, because they were being charged way too much money for just operation costs. So yeah.
可能现在才要开始冲得很快。现在开始暴跌。对。但它开场就在跌了嘛，所以肯定不低了。其实不低，对啊。
Okay, Samira 3. We have country, 7 country. 7 country is still good. Gargantuan Resolve, 7 country. Long distance pals. Oh, and you get the stats scaling. If you get a second, if you got a second Titans, that would have been really good to give Samira the long distance pals value with the Titan stuff. The stats that you get mid combat also scale in long distance pals, so the more you get off of the Titans, the better the value the Samira gets as well. Pretty cool combo. Disco. Never mind. I thought BBTO was playing AD, but he's going disco. Obsidian Cleaver Twisted Fate. Man, do we have the DPS? Oh my god, Samir died! Whoa. Whoa, that Samir got like one shot. I did not expect that to happen. I kind of thought that 7 countries going to steamroll. That's what happens when you have a monopoly on ISPs and they can double charge and decide who gets charged more. Yeah, from what I've understood, the internet, the ISP situation in Korea is not looking good. Like basically, the Korean companies are in bed with the government, and like they are saying like just make sure no other companies can really compete with us, and they're like, okay, cool. From my understanding of it, like net neutrality is like a really big problem in Korea, and basically the corporations won. From and if I'm misunderstanding or misrepresenting the topic, please let me know. But that's as far as my understanding it, it's like I don't know. The TLDR is like internet company corruption, but it is what it is. Shiv, Cleaver, and Zig. Shred while you shred. Yeah, he has Cleaver, and he has Shiv, and he has Zigs. Yeah, wait, aren't you playing in like later today? I feel like the finals start soon.
其实黑猪阿卡丽也还可以，因为它可以刷来刷去的。对，然后这边在帮威尔哥找装备。那上等补一个。
Okay, last stand still cooking. If he hits Viego 2 with this last stand, it is I think 100% GG. Right now, it's like 90 something percent GG. Not impossible for him to lose. But it's like rapidly approaching the 100% guarantee this guy wins out. His augments and setup is just so gross. 3-star 4 cost, maybe you can do something. Like level 10 crazy board might be able to do something. Like 10 pentakill might do something. Something along those lines. It's not just the internet, but yeah, the whole chaebol situation is just ridiculous. Yeah, okay. I mean, is Korea speaking out about it, like the people living in Korea, or do they not care? I'm not entirely sure. Because as far as I know, aren't they trying to squeeze out Netflix as well? Like are other companies trying to operate in Korea? Aren't they trying to squeeze that out? Seraphine just getting outscaled. Like Seraphine's gonna struggle into Riven as well. Like the moment we queue into Riven, we just die. We're on a 3 loss on stage 5. It's kind of a shame because at this stage we should be like winning some fights, but we lose everything. We just don't really have good augments, I think. This is sort of the downside of heroic grab bag. You have to hit so far ahead of tempo, or your comp has to have such a high baseline power that heroic grab bag can compensate for the lack of a gold augment. Does anyone here think Seraphine is overrated? Or do you think that she's underperforming in tournaments and scrims, and that's just like variance? She's actually really good. I'm starting to think Seraphine is overrated. Like a little bit. Before I was like, Seraphine's like top 3 reroll comp. Now I'm like, yeah, it's like good for sure. If you have the good spot for it. I'm starting to think that Seraphine's a little overrated. Not looking that good. Solid top 4. Depends on Ari. Yeah, that's true. She seems, no, she definitely seems good. I'm just she's just okay. I don't know if you guys saw the stats in NA, but a lot of people in North America believe Seraphine is very good. And I know this is just 18 games, right? Anything could happen, but she is an outlier of how badly she's performing. She's an outlier of how badly she's performing. Maybe people are playing her in spots that you shouldn't play her. But that would also imply that she's not as top tier as before, because part of what makes... No, baby! Part of what defines those tiers is how often you can play them, agnostic of how good your opener is. If it's like you only play this with certain openers, that means that it's a little bit weaker on average, because it means it's more conditional. Maybe that's the thing. Seraphine is strong, but she's conditional. Nope, she's just good. People play it from bad spots. Well, that doesn't mean that she's S tier then. That means she's A tier. But we'll see. I do think she is good. I do think she is good. If the stars set, not that stars align, there's a little bit too much of underselling her power. I think if you have a good spot for her, she's very good. I believe some reroll players probably like her too much, and people who are doubters probably undervalue her. That's probably where the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Okay, we're getting completely dumpstered by... Oh, we have a second Titans on Urgot. For the long distance pals, double Gargantuan Resolve synergies with Samira. Bebe is dead. Bebe bot 4. The way I've been playing here is to roll a 7 and flex between Seraphine and Lulu depending on whatever you hit. I mean, I think that's a good setup in general to play for because Lulu is also very interchangeable with Seraphine. What's Seraphine? It's basically the same as playing KD Ari, except you play Seraphine as your primary. And you play Ari as your secondary, along with Lulu. My god, Obsidian Cleaver, Rageblade Nashers, Rageblade Ziggs, Shiv, Sona. Ain't nobody's gonna have magic resistance. Okay, last fight. Oh my god, Face sniped the Samira again! Whoa, what horse? Oh my god, how does it even happen? You know what it is? It might be a positioning diff. Hold on a second. This I can't believe this Disco player just like somehow snipes the Samira every single time. If the Samira was here and the Urgot was there, does that change the outcome of this fight? I think so. My god. I mean, all you do is just switch Urgot and Samira. Okay, Riven won the game. It's official. Riven has won the game. So then everyone's playing for second. Oh, BBTY is gonna die here. The only way you can get the edge over Indomitable Will is if you CC early. Positioning. Okay, Samira gets hit by the. Oh god, Samira is dead. Oh my god. This guy keeps getting caught by positioning. So there's a couple things you might be able to do. Oh wow, this is a 100% position diff again. He got positioning diff twice. So like against this setup, there's a couple things you could do. But the first thing that you need to do is make sure she doesn't jump on the Samira early. Also, this ends up being bad into the Viego as well. But one thing you could theoretically do is put Samir here in this cubby with the Vex here, and then it sets up actually, I think Akali dashes here either way. But if you just switch sides, she's not gonna dash to this Samira. This guy's positioning was too predictable. Because once Akali locks onto the Samira, she becomes lowest HP target, and then Karthus follows up. It's actually just like. Yeah. Okay, what if we go one level deeper and just say you just sack long distance pals? What happens if he just puts Samira here, and he puts like if he puts Vex on the corner? Does he still win this fight? I think he might win this fight without long distance pals on Samira. I could see it, cause then Samira just turns her focus onto Akali, and then I don't think you can actually win. Cause Samira bursts down the front line, and then can the horse actually die from one cast of Karthus? I think he just sacks LDP. So my conclusion is that he just doesn't have to. He doesn't actually have to play long distance pals. I think he just sacks it. 100% wins if he stacks LDP? Yeah, agreed. That's my conclusion as well. Too much greed. Good for BBTY. He got a third place from that. This guy basically played himself out of a placement. Oh well. I mean, it happens. It's TFT. Oh my god. Alright. I mean, I'm pretty sure we know how the rest of this game plans out, right? Big time casts. Alright. I mean, Riven just dumpsters. Riven wins again. That's the third game in a row. We can go ahead and fast forward, because I'm pretty sure there's nothing this guy can do. There's nothing he can do. No carousels. Surely Pedigree? No. This Pedigree guy is just done. No dual stream to YouTube? No. My channel manager said that we shouldn't unless we're doing for big events. It'll come back for certain events, but not for like daily stream stuff. Man, the Lee Sin animation is very cool. Very cool. All right, that was game 5. We're going to game number 6. And then after game number 6, we're going to go into some scrims. Jazz Latte wins again. My God. Marvel Wizard. KH. Wow, Steffi. Chaos top 4. Jose Paulo 5th. Those are my boys. Those are my boys.
是很高几率晋级的。我觉得前11应该算蛮稳的啦。对，不太会有什么意外出现了。然后因为要超的话，要一直超这么多人很难。对，接下来爵士拿铁跟花花还有伊恩，哇。
Jazz Latte is gapping everybody. Third, second, first, third, first. Wawa in second. Taiwan Supremacy. What is this? TW. Hold on. How many people in the top 8 from TW? 4? Wow. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom very quickly before we start the next game. BRB.
再多几位抬高的选手这边跟着一起前进到明天的这个16取8了。没错。不过这个人人有机会啦，尤其现在 K 宝宝跟赛选手算是我们要重点关注的2位。那 K 宝宝的话会在拉比 A 或是拿铁那一组，赛的话就是我们等下持续继续转播的部分了。对，这场分组不会变，拿最后一把的。会不会还是3星雷文呢？好多3星雷文呢。 不过我觉得这个也是我们前面其实就有讨论到这个部分。当你分数落后的时候，有时候你会比较慌，但是赛上一把比较像是开场就跟他讲好，你这把要干嘛了。对，其实方向很明确，而且装备也对，然后最后整个完美配合起来。然后2阶段选秀还拿到了锅铲嘛，对不对？对，那个锅铲他打连败就是可以去拿锅铲，这些都是已经计算好了，而且还跌到8匹，全部都是完美的一个剧本。 好，那接下来来到今天最后一场了。这里刺激的哦，皇冠。我今天看到好多场骑手皇冠哦，我还没有播到流浪假人过哎。好想看一把流浪假人。我还没有播到1把过。虽然我很讨厌流浪假人，但是我喜欢看流浪假人。我喜欢看流浪假人。我不喜欢玩。对，那我喜欢我的流浪假人很厉害。你最喜欢的3个配置是什么？其实新钢很不错。那 KDA 跟杀虎社只要1个，8等就可以10杀或10 KDA。 这些都是很有机会。如果给你个新钢大人物爵士的，那就我们昨天其实表演赛就1把吃这样子，什么新钢、守望什么忘记，反正3个搭起来的，轻轻松松就在拿到胜利。7钢上9，7钢上9哦，7钢上9，那跟隔壁的拿铁剧本好像蛮像的哦。
Jazz Latte is a beast when he stays away from Emily. Wow.
前面大家会比较穷一点，因为要多抓一只角色，多上1个人，所以利息的话，前期经济。
You guys are mean. Alright, what do we got here? Tactician's crown for a game 6.
豆腐4冲撞，那是蛮有机会打出连。万一这边给他一个进入冲撞区，那就挡不住了。
2阶段4冲撞，然后进入冲撞区确实是挡不住。
Alright, after this game, we're gonna watch some North America scrims and keep some tabs on it.
有可能再嫖一张贾克斯。
再嫖一张
4 Moshers. Okay. Quicksilver, Runins. Kind of awkward itemization. Return on investment, 2 Fawns. Idealism. Probably Idealism. The tempo's too good on the Moshers.
看到这个给到飞在身上，让他打一个回血。但好一点还是把中间。
He's playing scrims. That's cool. That's cool.
真的出冲撞区，万一真的出冲撞区。
All right.
连胜有了。来看一下其他选手啊。
Senna 2. Okay. I mean, this is not a Senna spot. I don't know what it is. You could probably slam Steadfast. Play around the rod. He's level 4. Oh, he's okay. Okay, so it looks like he's committing a Senna. What is this image in the background? This dude Photoshop. What? His face is on who? Is this like a Rengar or something?
对手也是我们刚刚看到的豆腐，豆腐这边也把装合起来了，哎，走下来喽。被电了一下，但是凯能关键的 C 技能能不能救主？四冲撞的部分会吸血，其实是前期伤害不够是很难。
Oh wow, the Vise in the back line. He's saying Last Whisper.
越低攻速越快。
Hodge Last Whisper.
左一拳右一拳。
Okay.
送你一记超派铁拳。
Oh, that's Project Z. Okay.
再变。哇，哎，感觉是1打2的局。
The guy's a Zed fiend. That means he's just gonna go ahead and Oh wait, no, he has a good center set up. Never mind. Heartsteel. The thing about Heartsteel is that in these kinds of lobbies with Tactician's Crown, you take a little bit more damage than usual. So it's like you don't have as much HP to work with than you do normally. Last for open cloak. I mean, you could probably play like BT or something like that. Probably fine. Or like a defensive item. Adaptive. Home plate. You definitely don't need to even shroud. Are you in contact with Reynad still? Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows where to find me if he needs me. Like we are open to talking to each other. There's no reason for us to not. Basically, like if he calls me, I'll pick up. I think if I call him, he'll pick up. I don't like talk to Reynad often. There's just never really a reason to. Our worlds are kind of very apart right now. That's not a bad thing. It's just like I think when you work in this space for a while, you kind of recognize that sometimes you just don't talk to each other, but you still hold each other in high regard. Another example is like Lothar. Lothar, I still consider Lothar to be a very good friend of mine, but he basically works Valorant these days, and we don't really talk very much. But Lothar was one of my closest friends in Hearthstone, and I still considered him a very good friend of mine, even though we haven't really like talked and hung out in like years, like 4 years, probably. He did a little bit of TFT back in the day, but now he's like focused purely on like Valorant, and that's great for him. I'm happy for him. What's Reynad up to? I don't know, man. He's basically every time I tune into a Reynad stream, he's like in the middle of the wilderness, streaming from his car. He looks like half hippie, half Viking warrior with his facial hair, and he's like ranting about something. Not really ranting, but like kind of doing his Reynad like very slow, drawn out breakdown of how he views the world, and like he gets into like the government and corporations and capitalism and all these like different topics. He just goes on different ramblings about. And I think he's high. I think he's smoking weed. I can't tell, but it's like 2 hours of him just doing that. I don't know. So I think he's having a good time. The term you're looking for is half elf. Yeah. He's half elven that at this point. I hope he's doing well, man. And I also hope he finally releases this goddamn card game. This card game was a really big moment in the company for Temple Storm because it was like basically a big company pivot, and I think it basically like. I mean, it is the reason why Tempo Storm isn't really a thing anymore, because it drew a bunch of resources away from it and like all towards the game development, and he hasn't shipped it, and now it's been like almost too long. Like people have been waiting for it for so long. Like it almost feels like it can't live up to the expectations that's surrounding it, but I hope it does. I hope it does. It's like too crazy now at this point. Like Been like 6 to 7 years. We're rapidly approaching to the point where it's taking as long as it to develop Hearthstone, right? Hearthstone was like I don't even know how long it was. It was like was it like a 10-year project? I don't think so. I think it was shorter than that. But yeah, either way, it's just like at this point, I'm not entirely sure when it'll come out, if it'll come out. But I hope it does, and I hope it succeeds. But I'm trying not to get my expectations to the point where I'll be like, well, that was a huge disappointment. If it comes out, great. If it doesn't, all good. And if it's a great game, awesome. And if it's not a great game, oh well. At least he tried and launched a game. It's really hard. It's hard to make a game. Urgot, good. Reverie needs, I think, a good finish here. Okay, Heartsteel cash out. He chose not to raise the stakes. He's too strong to raise the stakes. He has Urgot 2, Olaf 2. He has to sell half his board if he wants to go for raise the stakes. I think he lost his mental when that game stole his idea. Which game? Which idea? This game is transformed in terms of ideas like many times. I don't know which game you guys are talking about. That sounds lonely. Yeah, it does actually. It actually does sound pretty lonely. There's been times where Raynad asked if I was interested in working together again, and I mean there was interest, but at the same time I couldn't tell like where he was on the business end of things. And also, I think I'm pretty happy. I was fielding a bunch of different offers, and I was pretty happy with what I had at the time. So there was in another parallel universe, Raynad and Frodan reunited, and who knows? Maybe I would be sitting in the passenger seat. He passes the weed to me, and I'm smoking, and I'm like, yeah, man, the government's totally out to get us, and like crypto is like the future. I don't know. Decentralized, like I don't know. I'd probably be there like smoking weed with him in a different timeline. He never said the name on stream, but it always seemed like he was talking about super auto pets. Backpack battles. Asynchronous, like auto battling. Is that what he's talking about? The game is never gonna get released. I wouldn't blame him. Or rather, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I also don't blame him if he gives up on it. 7 Tom Kenches. Tom Kench 3? What the heck is this? Set a 3 on 3 too? Okay. Alright. He has a Nar 2. He's playing 2 Nars. Why not put these items on the Nar 2? Or actually, oh sorry, that's not a Nar, that's a Kennen. Oh my god, I thought this was another Nar. When I was playing Yordle reroll, I had to play a game for Wiz Wednesday where I played only Yordles. I got confused which Yordles were which on my bench because they were all little tiny runts wearing hats. And I couldn't tell who was who. I couldn't tell if it was Kennen or I was selling Nar or anything like that. It was just all... They all looked the same on the bench. I couldn't tell. He claimed he came up with the idea. I mean, yeah, but it's also about who gets first to market, right? That's too bad. Why put fun on Kennen? For the bling bonus. That's racist? Are Yordles a race or are they a species? What scientific classification are we going here? Actually, they're a genus. Okay, my editor's pinging me.
人家这边还在存钱哦，但是 BBTY 剩下44滴血，这一波呢，看能多换几只吧。 再叠伤，伤害叠起来，哎，这 CC 技能一直砸，少换一只的感觉。
暴击啊，不会暴击。哎，再换一只，
有机会，有。
这里8连败。
Why can't species be racist? That's speciest. Okay, you're just making up words now. It depends if yordles can have sex with humans. Okay. Okay, Alex, we didn't need to go there. I said that we wanted to make this about biology, but you didn't need to go there, man. What? Okay, first of all, yordles aren't real. And second of all, no one is thinking about reproductive success. About a fictitious group of magical dwarves. At least not in this stream. Okay, we have infusion for the Seraphine, I think, player. Crowd Diver emblem? Where'd we get this from? Hmm? We got Crowd Diver emblem for the Katarina? Well, now I am. What? Oh my god. Crowd Diver Katarina with a Crowd Diver emblem. My god. Long distance battles, 2 Katarinas. Damn. We need to get Dante's on this conversation. Nah, I'm good. We already kind of have that with Setsuko. Setsuko goes 30 minutes of his stream without talking about masturbating challenge. Impossible. I know you're so hateful and ignorant towards yordles. I'm not. I'm not like I'm a yordle enjoyer, but I'm like in a respectful manner. Twin Terror Lulu? Okay, baby. Okay. Twin Terror Lulu? Let's go. I'm down. Katarina being off in Narnia is so funny to me. She's just in the top left minding her own business. And no one's like actually attacking her at all. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my god, this Garen is tanking so much. Wow, that Kennen. Can we swap subjects? I mean, I feel like it's making you uncomfortable. Alright, so we roll for Lulu here and we get Twin Terror Lulu. I'm down. Speaking of yordles. I think Lulu is my favorite yordle to play this set. I think she's very fun. I think every Lulu build has been super cool. Hologram Lulu, Twin Terror Lulu. You can also play like Spellweaver Flex. Is Lulu actually a powerful mage in lore or not? I'm currently watching this anime with my family. We're watching Frodan, which is actually quite good anime. I was very surprised. I was not expecting it to be very good. And when I play Lulu, I like to project and think that she's kind of like Frodan, like low-key. Yes, she is. Okay, sweet. Like I didn't really think I was gonna get into it very much because I'm just keeping an open mind. It got really good reviews, and I actually really enjoy it. Very cozy, very cozy. Solo Lovely. Oh yeah, I have to watch that too. That's on my to-watch list. Raise a crowd. Oh, support. Oh, Aegis. Not bad. Everyone's talking about solo leveling. I feel, is that the new hype one though? Like Freerun's a different vibe. It's like slice of life. It's like slice of life anime, but about like a 1,000-year-old elven mage. Ari Twin Terror is surprisingly strong. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, it makes sense. Any Twin Terror that is good around a good carry, I could see it being good. I've never seen it though. Also, I'm only like episode 10 or something like that into Freerun. I said I turned to my wife. I said, "What if we name our baby Himmel?" And she says, "No, I dated a guy whose last name was Himmel in high school." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's too bad." I kind of like that guy. Also, Himmel has blue hair, so of course he would be my descendant. Is Freerun family friendly? Yes, very family friendly. It's I think it's one of those things where you could watch Freerun with your kids, and then the adults probably end up crying. Probably one of those like things. Kind of like Up, you know? Is this movie really for kids or is it really for the adults? Ezreal. Passes Ezreal. Caitlyn. Passes Caitlyn. Viego. Passes I mean, Viego's not... Wow. Okay. Love a man that knows what he wants. Oh, he's so lucky he didn't travel. Hello, extra orb. Rizu. Rizu. Rizu, pick up the orb. Pick up the orb. You got this. A second ZZ Rot. Oh, that's right. He got the cash out with the double ZZ Rots. Well, we could have probably used it this fight for an extra boost. Until you check the Twitter fandom, you know what? I'm not gonna even bother. Oh, I have a new YouTube video going up in 15 minutes. I do a VOD coaching review of a Masters player. I'm not gonna lie. I hope my editor did a good job with it because half the time there was some moments where I legitimately didn't know what to say. I was just like, oh my god, like what? I froze up after watching some of the decisions, and I was like, oh nice, Loot 3. And so I hope that they edit it cleanly because there's a lot of moments I was like, this is not very well explained. But yeah, it's of a Masters player who asked for some help, so I do a YouTube video of that. All right, Bebe, we got this. Twin Terror Lulu. Wait, if we put the Aegis... Wait a second. If we put the Aegis one hex over, we buff both Lulus. The Aegis here buffs both of these Lulus. No! He's leaving one of the Lulus out to hang. Oh man, is it a Lulu buff diff? It's a Lulu buff diff! Oh my god! That is absolutely the diff! Oh man. This guy thinks Aegis works upwards. Yeah, he also thinks Aegis also buffs the units in front. Oof. Oh, we got submit to the Pogo. Or got 3. This is the real tech. This is real tech. People who don't know about... There's a lot of people who don't know about this. This is one of the comps that I did not put on my comp list at the beginning of the patch that I would say is should be on people's radar. 6 Moshers. 6 Mosher Urgot. They call him Xiao Pengyo, which means small friends. I guess little buddies? They're little buddies, though. Is Blue Buff Urgot that good? Yeah, it just basically keeps him, like, his uptime really high for when he's going to be in Urgot mode. How do you feel about this comp with Gnar? I think it's pretty decent with Gnar, but it's like very tempo dependent. If you hit Gnar 3 too late, it's not that impactful. I prefer the Urgot version the most, but Gnar 3 with Submit to the Bit actually kind of slaps. Blue Urgot is EU tech. That is true. It is EU tech. I learned about it. My favorite itemization for Urgot is red buff, blue buff plus GS. But you could also go like IE, GS, blue or something like that. Red. Oh, this is the Gnar. This is Gnar variation. Submit to the pit, Gnar 3. Okay. Submit to the pit, long distance, pals. Oh, he hit the Yorick. Yorick 100% over this Karthus. Yorick 100%. Oh, actually, he has already Yorick. He has 2 Yoricks. Wait, don't you want to? I kind of want to buff. Wait a second. How do you actually do this? Buffing the Karthus doesn't make much sense. And now his Karthus getting aggroed on. Oh. Okay, I don't know exactly how to position it right off the bat, but this is wrong. There's no way this is right. Wow, he could have won this fight, I think. I mean, he had a lot to do to transition it, but let's see if he fixes it this round. It's probably one of those things where like you can put Yorick here and buff Gnar Yorick, and then have 2 pockets of Moshers. I don't agree with giving the stats to Karthus. It doesn't. Karthus won with Rageblade, like it doesn't really do a lot, and then the 2 Moshers that get the stats will share those stats amongst each other. That's like really good. What's your opinion on Narbis? That's pretty close, I would say. Infinity Edge is really good. Hodge is good to combo with Infinity Edge and the crit. I think you could also go like Runins. You could go like Bloodthirster as well. Bloodthirster Giant Slayer. There's a lot of different things you could go on Gnar. I think tempo matters way more than Biss, but IE Hodge is a very good combo. Gnar jumps infinite distance. That is, yeah, exactly. You could have Gnar be towards the back as well. He wants to greed the value of full Mosher value as well as the Gnar. I don't know. Either way, I feel like that's a positioning puzzle that's not terribly complicated to solve if you just take out the Karthus. I'm very surprised he's valuing the Karthus. Maybe he changed it though. Maybe he changed it already. That's a Yorick 2! This guy hit a Yorick 2! This guy hit a Yorick 2. And he's still giving LDP to Karthus. Alright. Well, this guy is just different. That guy's just he's just better than everybody. I don't know what to say. That boy went 7th. I mean, he went 7th because of like he's going up against really insane boards. Playing. What up, Zygock? We have the Seraphine. We have the Senna. We have the Gnar. We have the Urgot. Is it all reroll? Are there no 4-cost players? Oh, we have one. Sai. Sai is playing AD Flex. I like the Lux. I like the Lux inclusion. EDM plus the Dazzler. I think it's a nice touch. Dazzler can sometimes clutch, and it gives you extra trades for Jazz. Then it got caught by Thresh. That Thresh cast is really big. Stalled for a long time. But I think Sai is really, really powerful right now. His board is really good. I think it's fine because yours getting all the stats from Surrender to the Pocket, which might be more than the LP. I think you can do both. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you can actually like make sure to maximize both and not feel like you're losing out. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not doing the math on it, and the math actually says that's totally fine. Katarina, Crowd Diver, Ari. Wow. We really not have 6 Crowd Diver? Who are we missing? We don't have Kiana, and we don't have Zed. Ooh, no Zed. And Katarina is really hard to actually make work. I'm sure a Crowd Diver helps. Oh, the Edge was dead. Wow, we win this fight? That's crazy. Sai's dead? Sai's living by 1 HP. That was nuts. You guys see this Katarina just drain tank? She just like totally drain tanked all the damage. At one point, it was Ezreal, Zed, and Alawi, and Aphelios, and Bard all just like attacking her. And she just straight up drain tanked it. This Ari was super clutch, locking onto the Zed. Oh my god. Ridiculous. So much healing. This is why people want the double Hodge JG with Vampirism. That was crazy. You mean super clump? I mean 2 clumps. 2 clumps. 2 clump pockets. You can do 2 clump pockets. But maybe it is too awkward. Maybe it's too awkward. Wow. 18, 17, 14, 11, 2. It's gonna be close. Edge of Night, Akali. He's not getting unified on his second row. His Akali has no unified. Slight misposition. Unless... No, it's not intentional. He can move Cannon up. All good. I do that at least once per game. Oh, it is not all good. It is not all good. I think we kind of needed that a little bit. Oh. Oh. We went 5th. Oh, he was playing KDA Kali instead of True Damage Kali. Oh yeah, that's another element of it. He might have accidentally messed up his KDA. Late game True Damage Kali is so much better than KDA Kali in a lot of those burst orient setups. Okay, we got to 9 and we hit Zed. Got 3. Full ass clump. Oh my gosh. This Katarina heals so much. Does he win this game? It'd be kind of surprising if it was a win out. He's still giving Karthus the stats. That's so interesting to me. Don't you think it's better if he gave the stats to Ziggs? 6-2. Like I'd rather remove him and give these items to 6-2. He's actually doing this now. He's now double clumping. Still not giving stats to Yorick too. Like I feel like Gnar has fallen off, but maybe I'm wrong on this. Gnar is dead. I will admit I don't have a lot of experience playing this kind of setup, but that doesn't feel right to me for this matchup. It doesn't feel right to me. I feel like you actually try to... You either need to set up for better burst, and Gnar's not the unit to do that, or you need to set up for better attrition, which is like the Yorick. That just seems very wrong to me. I'm not entirely sure. But I will admit I'm not extremely experienced on LDP, submit to the pit, Gnar reroll. He was trying to not clump because the Urgot kind of counters that clump. No. My instinct says it's not about Gnar in that matchup at all. He put his tentacles in the back. You kind of want the tentacles in the front to draw the RE damage. Okay, Cat's getting repeatedly stunned. That's good. Katarina is still not under threat. Urgot's finally focusing on her. Thresh casted. Dude. This Katarina is insane. She's actually just straight up tanking everything. No way, man. I mean, part of it is the Crowd Diver emblem thing working really well, and we have really good RE items, but I will say that I didn't expect it to do this well. Katarina has a 0% win rate right now in scrims for North America. Maybe something like this is what takes it over the top. Referee's positioning these in the corner. Okay, so he wants these tentacles to draw the Crowd Diver stuns. Okay, I can see that. Like, kill the Crowd Divers. It doesn't stun any of your units in the back. Yorick is locked out. Okay, Crowd Diver so far. Stuns have not been effective. So far, so good. Okay. Oh, okay. I see it. I see it. I like that. I like that. It worked out much better this time. And so far, BBTY has not had to reposition, so maybe now he has to do something different. Let's get Biss on Cat. I mean, you just make sure you like. Part of it is that you have Superfan to guarantee one of the 3 items, and you start off with like good items for Katarina. I think he started off with JG, so all you need to get is 1 tier and 1 glove. That's the power of Superfan. If you have a position where you start off with it, you just lean into whatever you have. If you start off with a Jewel Gauntlet and you have Superfan, you already have 2 to 3 items. Spark. Oh, he has Shiv already. I actually might double up. I know that he takes even shroud here, but I think I might double up on Spark because you don't get Shiv value guaranteed until this thing autos 3 times, and also on the low it might not even hit the right targets. I think the shred is actually kind of good, but maybe I'm underestimating it. Oh, this Urgot's on the cat. Cat cast again. She's drain tanking. Oh my god. Seraphine too. It's so funny because neither players are changing their positions. They both just keep like not moving. So they both like the submit to the pit player has a really hard time moving, but the LDP player also has a hard time moving. Like neither player are like moving a lot. Yorick 2's a big hit. Yorick 2's a big hit. You guys think it's like where Yorick's or where Katarina's knives go? Okay, Thresh is close to the Katarina. Thresh casts. Katarina didn't get hit by the Thresh. Oh, York's focusing on Cat much earlier. And the stun, and the stun. Oh. Wow. What a comeback, what a comeback. Katarina 3 wins. He had a Katarina in shop, or a Kiana in shop. Actually, one thing you can do is put Kiana in front of Katarina and just stun her repeatedly. Maybe in the late game situation, what you should be thinking about is like, can you play better units than whatever you have here? Like maybe it's just worth cutting like Jax and this guy. His Pentecost emblem. But like playing a unit that just stuns a Katarina. Like if he's just gonna leave the Katarina here, why not? You could chase a Kiana and just have Kiana repeatedly cast onto her. Like there's definitely things you can do. There's definitely things you can do. Like he's always putting Katarina here, and you're not threatening it at all. He didn't have Kiana? Yeah, I know, but he was at level 9 for a long time. I didn't see his shots. I'm talking about things he could theoretically roll for, because it looks like he spent his gold to roll for like Yorick 2 and things like that. I think he was going to improve. We're talking about like things that he could theoretically in the spot next time think about as a way to counter and win. Okay, so that's it for SEA. They have their finals tomorrow. Chaos Clutch with the first. Jazz Latte, another first. My God. Show me the standings. Bebe went last. Bebe went last. This guy didn't show up. So he takes 32nd and Bebe went 31st. That's dead last. Oh no, Bebe. Oh. That's not a good look. Oh God. Man, you're supposed to pat the torch was passed to you, man. You're supposed to take on the mantle. Oh man. All right, so Jazz Latte, Food Time, BBTY, Reverie, 2 Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, Taiwan, Singapore, Singapore, PH, Philippines, Taiwan, Singapore, Thailand. Pretty good balance. Pretty good balance of things. All right. Okay, so if you guys want to watch this VOD on your own, you can. I'll link it in chat for you guys if you want to. But that's it for watching tournaments.